Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. As most of you know who have been following the content pertaining to um, the disappearance and murder of Gabby Petito and the hunt for Brian Laundrie, it has finally come to an end. The remains found in the reserve are those of Brian Laundrie. I will bring you said information with a source. CNN is my first source. Hello, Miss Bruno. Dental records show remains found at Carlton Reserve are those of Brian Laundrie, FBI says. The FBI's Denver office said Thursday that remains found a day earlier in the Florida Nature Reserve are those of Brian Laundrie, who disappeared last month just days after his fiancée, Gabby Petito, was reported missing. The FBI said dental records confirmed the identification. Two local detectives visited the Northport, Florida home of Laundrie's parents shortly before the FBI made its announcement. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the remains found yesterday in the reserve are indeed Brian's. Family attorney Stephen Bertolino said. We have no further comment at this time, and we ask that you respect the Laundrie's privacy at this time. An attorney for the Petito family, Richard Stafford, said they are not doing interviews. They are grieving the loss of their beautiful daughter, Stafford said. Gabby's family will make a statement at the appropriate time and when they are emotionally ready. Skeletal remains and clothing found. The identification came hours after police in Northport said the remains that were skeletal and belonged to a human. They are human remains, no doubt there. I would say that the remains were consistent with one individual. Skeletal remains, police spokesperson Josh Taylor told CNN. Investigators also found clothing believed to be consistent with what Laundrie was wearing when he took off September 13th, according to Taylor. Less than a week after Laundrie went missing last month, authorities in Wyoming found Petito's remains in a national forest. Her death was ruled a homicide by manual strangulation. On Wednesday, investigators also found a backpack and a notebook belonging to Laundrie 23 near the remains while they were searching the Carlton Reserve in Northport, according to FBI Special Agent in Charge Michael McPherson. The notebook, to my understanding, has not been opened. That will need to be processed, Taylor said. A source with knowledge of the investigation told CNN the notebook is possibly salvageable. The source said the notebook was outside of the dry bag. It had been clearly wet, and they are going to use any potential means to dry that out before opening it, according to the source, who added they'll be very careful with it. The source said it is unclear how the notebook ended up outside the bag. When Taylor was asked about whether a weapon was found, he said he could not comment. When asked if there is an ongoing search for the murder of Gabby Petito, he responded, that is certainly not in the Northport Police Department's purview. During a search with police, Chris Laundrie was the first to spot an item belonging to his son, according to Taylor. Interesting. Lee County Sheriff's Carmine Marcino said Thursday law enforcement had been searching in treacherous conditions, including chest-high water full of snakes and alligators. These are very, very difficult conditions. You're searching in areas that you just can't walk up and look. It's not like you're searching a house or a car, he said. These areas are huge and they're covered by water. The exhaustive search for Laundrie stretched over a month as authorities tried to piece together what happened to him and Petito during their road trip through the western U.S. this summer. Petito, 22, disappeared on a trip amid tensions in their relationship, and her remains were later found where the couple had last been seen together. Laundrie, who had returned by himself to his parents' home in Florida, refused to talk with investigators and didn't return after telling his parents he was going to the nature reserve to hike. He was not charged with Petito's death, although he was indicted for allegedly using two financial accounts that did not belong to him in the days following her killing. Authorities, including several K-9 units and off-road vehicles, returned to the reserve on Thursday morning to further search the area. And that is okay. We got a little bit more. Excuse me. I didn't know there was a little bit more. Hold on. Just a second. Okay. Laundrie's family had declined to talk publicly following legal advice, but they had directed authorities to where they believed Laundrie may be staying in the reserve, Bertolino said. The parents joined in the search Wednesday morning and found a bag belonging to their son at the park, which their attorney described as happenstance. According to Bertolino, Laundrie's parents informed the FBI and the Northport Police Department on Tuesday night that they wanted to visit the park Wednesday morning to search for their son. Law enforcement met them there and closely accompanied them as they entered the park. So basically, it says here that the Laundrie's parents informed the FBI and the Northport Police Department on Tuesday night that they wanted to visit the park Wednesday to search for their son. Let me make sure everyone heard that. Law enforcement met them there and closely accompanied them as they entered the park, Bertolino said. As they further went in, Chris ventured off the trail into the woods. He was zigzagging in different areas. Law enforcement was doing the same thing, and Roberta Laundrie was walking down the trail, Bertolino said. At some point, Chris locates what's called a dry bag. The dry bag is a white bag laying in the woods, say 20 feet or so off the trail. The dry bag was in some brambles, and he didn't want to move it because he wanted his law enforcement to see it, Bertolino said. However, Chris Laundrie couldn't find law enforcement and didn't want to leave the bag there with the news reporter standing nearby, so he picked it up, Bertolino explained. That's not good. He did meet up shortly with law enforcement. They looked at the contents of the bag, and at that time, law enforcement officers showed him a picture on the phone of a backpack that law enforcement had located also nearby and also some distance off the trail, Bertolino told CNN. At that point, the Laundries were notified there was also remains near the backpack, and they were asked to leave the preserve. The remains were found at about 2 to 3 miles inside the Carlton Reserve, or about a 45-minute walk from the entrance at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, Taylor said Wednesday. When asked why the parents chose to go to the park on Wednesday, Bertolino said it was the first day it was reopened to the public. The parents had assumed that the experts, the FBI, and all the tracking teams they had would be able to locate Brian based upon the information that we had provided them to the specific areas and trails in the park that Brian liked to visit, Bertolino said. The park had been closed to the public. There was really no other reason for the Laundries to go search anywhere else. CNN is the source. Thank you so much for joining me. That is the said information. I'm going to play you the FBI's version of this said information. Thank you all for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $BigAndrew129 Cash App. Thank you. This is by ABC News. The information I'm about to play to you, you can find it in the YouTube queue if you need verification.
Coming in moments ago from the FBI, they now say the human remains found in a Florida nature reserve are those of Brian Laundrie. That confirmation tonight from the FBI after this month-long search now for Brian Laundrie, much of it centered on the difficult swampy terrain in Florida, not far from his family home. All of it, of course, in the case of Gabby Petito. A little more than 24 hours ago, the discovery of Laundrie's backpack and notebook and what were believed to be human remains. The county medical examiner was called to the scene immediately. It was Laundrie's parents who led authorities along the trail where his remains were found, and their attorney tonight clarifying the timeline of this discovery. And tonight, the Petito and Laundrie families both reacting to this news from the FBI. ABC's Trevor Ault leading us off from Florida tonight.
Tonight, authorities confirming the remains discovered in Florida's Carlton Nature Reserve are those of Gabby Petito's boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. The Northport Police Department saying those remains are skeletal, and the FBI making the confirmation using a comparison of dental records. The grim discovery made off a nature trail alongside Laundrie's backpack and notebook, found a month after his disappearance in an area previously underwater.
These are very, very difficult conditions. I mean, you're searching in areas that you just can't walk up and look. These areas are huge and they're covered by water.
The announcement marks the end of a nationwide manhunt for Laundrie, still the only named person of interest in Petito's murder after he returned home from their cross-country road trip without her. And now sparking further questions, the fact his parents led authorities along the trail Wednesday where the remains were found.
This is an area that we initially notified the FBI that Brian liked to hike in.
Their attorney now clarifying the timeline, telling CNN any suggestion the Laundries planted those personal items is hogwash, saying Wednesday Chris Laundrie found a bag belonging to Brian off one side of the trail, but law enforcement located Brian's backpack and then the remains.
At that point, the Laundries were notified that there was also remains in the backpack, and they were asked to leave the preserve.
Now an autopsy will determine Brian Laundrie's cause of death. And David, his parents' attorney says the family is now asking for privacy. And the attorney for Gabby Petito's family says they are not giving any interviews or statements right now because they are grieving the loss of their daughter. David.
Trevor Roll leading us off with the news from the FBI tonight. Trevor, thank you.
All right, that's ABC News if you need verification. So the FBI have confirmed that the remains found in the reserve are those of Brian Laundrie. A backpack, a dry bag, and a notebook was found. It's being said that was water at one time, but has receded. And these said items were found off of a trail. How far off from the trail, I do not know. But if I just use my own discretion, it's a very weird, odd situation, because now I have to ask myself, why would this person go out here into a place that would be filled with water? Why not kill yourself at home? The comfort of your home, the comfort of your own car, or hell, sit outside in your backyard, kill yourself. So now we will wait and see how he came to die. I doubt that it was natural. 9 times out of 10, Brian Laundrie killed himself. So now we have to ask ourselves, did he strangle himself or did he shoot himself? And I do think it is interesting, yes, that they found the bag. But as they said, all that was water at one time. You couldn't get in. The park was closed. But then one could say, well, why didn't they think to go out there and look before? But then the flip side of that is, well, if it was covered with water, they wouldn't be able to tread through the water. That is the said information. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to bring you information pertaining to the family. I had put up 2 posts yesterday stating what would the liabilities be pertaining to the Laundrie family. Could they be sued by the Petito Schmidt family for aiding and abetting and knowing of a death of their child and not giving any type of information? What exactly did Brian Laundrie tell his parents before he died in that reserve? Did he confess to killing Gabby Petito? Did he tell the whole truth? Did he give partial truth? What did he tell his parents after killing her? And that means right after, while he was still in the state of Wyoming, all the way down to Florida. What exactly did he say? What did they ask? What questions did the parents ask him, the sister, anybody else talk to him about Gabby Petito? Where is she? Here's her van, but where is she? Did they believe him, whatever version he gave? And as I state, will they have to stand account for what their son did to Gabby Petito? Will this family sue them for information after the fact? How will this fare? I'm going to play commentary pertaining to that said information. Thank you all for joining me. And I want to give you some more information, but I'll wait. And there was a family found dead in Mariposa County. This is California. I'm going to read you this right quick before I get started. There's just so much foolishness going on in the world right now. I think it's time for everybody to stay out of the mountains. Just stay away from hiking altogether. It's just getting ridiculous. Sheriff, family died of hypothermia, possible dehydration while hiking Mariposa County Trail. I don't know if you all heard this story, but this was uploaded the 21st. Central California family was found dead on a hiking trail in August from hypothermia and possible dehydration. They were in the Devil's Gulch Valley. The trail was steep and temperatures were warmer than hikers would likely expect unless they were familiar with it. Sheriff Bree said 45-year-old Jeremy Bree said, Jeremy Bree said the family was hiking in Devil's Gulch Valley. The trail was steep, blah, blah, blah. Jonathan Garish mapped out Hike Cove Trail on an app on his phone, but the program did not show the elevation of the trail. A witness told investigators they saw the family's truck going toward the trail on August 15th around 8 a.m. The temperature at the time was 75 degrees and the elevation was about 3,800 feet. The family walked about 2.2 miles down the trail to an elevation of about 900 feet, where temperatures jumped from 92 to 99 degrees. After walking a bit further, temperatures in the area jumped over 100 degrees. completely exposed to the sun. The sheriff said the Ferguson fire had burned the tree cover in the area in 2018. They made it about 2 miles. Their bodies were discovered about 1.5 miles from their vehicle. This is a crazy story. It says 30-year-old Ellen Chung, their 1-year-old child, died by hypothermia and probable dehydration. Hypothermia is when your body produces more heat than it can release and bodily functions began shutting down. He added that the heat-related illnesses take time to investigate and are difficult to determine. The cause of the dog's death has not yet been determined, but officials say his death was likely heat-related too. So this is crazy. Here's a guy, a girl, a baby, and a damn dog hiking. Obviously, they didn't plan well for this trip with water bottles and the location, how steep it is, high, and they all were found dead on a hiking trail in California. If you need verification for this information, ABC 30 News is the source. This is a very sad story, and it's showing the family here. Looks like a Caucasian man, an infant, a Lord have mercy, Asian woman, and a dog, all dead from dehydration. Lord have mercy. That's the sad information. Now I'll get back to the information I was about to bring to you pertaining to the repercussions of the Laundries and this saga. Before I get into that, let me play you something from a former FBI agent. The news is asking her opinion pertaining to the parents being involved in the search of Brian Laundrie, and I'm going to play that said information. And then I'll get into the repercussions of the Laundries and this case. Thank you for joining me. News Nation Now is the source. Well, now it's not playing. Oh, mercy. Hold on. Well, I think I have to go find it on my post. Just a second. Nothing wants to play. Thank you all so much for joining me. News Nation Now is the source. This was uploaded 4 hours ago. It smells rotten. Former FBI agent on the death of Brian Laundrie. News Nation Now is the source. Thanks for joining me.
Joining us, we have breaking news tonight that the skeletal remains found yesterday in Florida are in fact that of Brian Laundrie, who FBI investigators, police have been searching for about 6 weeks at this point, looking for him. Joining us now to give us a little more insight on this breaking news, former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Koffendorfer. Jennifer, thank you for being with us here. Obviously, very breaking news. Just learning this, that those remains are, in fact, Brian Laundrie's remains. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think after the discovery was made of articles that they knew belonged to him were found very close to where the remains were found, I think all of us probably anticipated this news, although you need to get the medical confirmation that it was truly him. I am not surprised at this point that the remains are his. And sometimes in an investigation, you just have to take a step back. We all who have been following this from the very beginning had a set of clues that were leading us to think he was not in that reserve, which was confirmed, of course, when for 5 weeks, law enforcement could not find him. Sometimes you have to step back and look at the new set of clues before you. It reminds me of a case I had, one of my last cases of a missing 6-year-old, where we thought it was the mother, and it ended up not being the mother when all the facts came together. And I think we have to look at the possibility that really what happened was he went in after he returned from his trip, after he had committed this horrible crime. He went there, he committed suicide very early on. His parents knew where he went because that was the location of that Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
They had searched there many, many times previously. Unfortunately, it was early in the investigation before those waters had receded, searching the other 20,000+ acres, and it aligned where their search was not contemporary with the waters receding to expose the body and the belongings.
Well, and Jennifer, they were searching for 6 weeks, and then, the day after this park reopens, his parents make this discovery. What do you think about that?
I don't like it. It smells rotten. It smells bad, especially with the cloud of, wondering what these parents had been up to all of these weeks. But like I said, sometimes you have to just step back and look at the facts we have before us. I do not believe those parents or somebody else went into the reserve and planted his bones. I think that it was the perfect storm with that reserve opening, them wanting to go look for their son, since now for the first time it was open. They went to the exact same place that they took law enforcement previously. It just was not exposed.
And sometimes, as you said, sometimes that happens. Well, what do you think? I mean, if he'd been out there, at this point for days, for weeks possibly, how likely are we to find out, maybe a cause of death or how long he had, in fact, been out there?
Well, in my experience with these specific kinds of cases, usually the person that does choose not to run but commit suicide either hangs themselves or they shoot themselves. And if the bones of the skull are intact, I think an ME is going to be able to make that determination if he shot himself.
And, what do you think this means just overall for the investigation? Certainly for Gabby Petito's parents, because there's going to be so many questions that just go unanswered, potentially.
It is so tragic for the families of these victims not to get their questions answered, not to be able to face this person, not to have this person be really in jail suffering for this crime they've committed. It makes for no peace for the Petito family, and it is so sad.
And just quickly, my last question for you, Jennifer. Is this what you anticipated? Is this how you thought it would end?
No. From pretty early on, and again, this was based on the facts we had before us. The fact of the vehicle being brought and then taken back. The fact that the Laundries were not at all cooperative. The fact that they lawyered up. The fact that Brian lawyered up. The
you didn't
fact
think
that
this would happen.
Yeah, no, I did not. And 6 weeks of him not being found made me even further believe that.
You fall down.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting information. News Nation Now is the source for that. I will agree with the former agent that the parents' behavior was very suspect up until yesterday. The things that they were doing made a person think that perhaps that Brian Laundrie was alive, because you didn't cooperate. You never answered the phone calls from the other family. You went and got a lawyer before anyone even knew what happened to Miss Petito, anything about the credit cards. We didn't know any of that. But yet you have a lawyer for your son. And as I always said to people, why would you get a lawyer for a dead person? I've always said that. Why would you get a lawyer for a dead person? Why would you get a lawyer for someone who you even think was going to kill himself? Very strange. So now we have to wait for the autopsy to come back to tell us how long he was out there and the cause of death. Because that's going to be a very interesting development when we find out how long Brian Laundrie was out there in that swamp. And as I said, once again, why hire an attorney for a suicidal person? Why hire an attorney, period? If a person hasn't done anything, then you get represented by the attorney, and your son has gone out into the wind somewhere. Nobody knew where he was. So now we have to figure out how long he was even dead out there. Day 1, day 2, week 1, week 3, week 4. What? What are we saying? What's in the backpack? Why take a backpack if you're going to kill yourself? See, none of this makes any sense. You going off on that trail and happen to find one thing and the FBI agents find something else. It's all crazy to me. Happenstance, perhaps. Who am I to say? I wasn't there. But it's all strange because of the behavior of the parents in the beginning. And like she said, going to get the car, picking it up, taking it home. Yeah, you're not waiting out there trying to find your son in the swamp. Because they said it's chest deep. And I guess it depends on how tall you are. This is something off still. Very off, odd behavior. But guilty people do odd things, say odd things. Desperate people do desperate things. And perhaps this is one of those things. He went out to the swamp where he felt comfortable and lied out there in the swamp, stupidly, ignorantly, harmed himself, offed himself, took the coward's way out. And here comes law enforcement trying to find him on the word of his parents that he's out there. And indeed he was. So many of us didn't think he was out there. And I kept asking myself, why are they out there, still out there? So somebody believed the Laundries. And they were right. He was out there. He just wasn't alive. Thank you for joining me. I want to bring you content pertaining to the repercussions of these people aiding their son. All this information you can find in the YouTube queue. I will be playing you 3 different audios, all by News Nation Now. First one is, I'm trying to decide which one I want to play. Did Brian Laundrie take his secrets to the grave? Forensic expert weighs in. This is Banfield. Thanks for joining me. 1 second.
Welcome back to Banfield. Did Brian Laundrie take his secrets to the grave? If the human remains found at the Carlton Reserve today are proven to be him, does that mean that we will not get answers to all of the questions that we still have? Did he kill Gabby Petito? When did he really leave his parents' house and become a fugitive? And how did he die? Fortunately, I'm joined by someone who knows better than anyone how to get answers from the dead, and it is Joseph Scott Morgan. He's a certified death investigator, a distinguished scholar of
this
applied
is 1 day old.
This
commentary.
He's also the host of the podcast Body Bags. Joe, I thought of you right away when I heard the remains were found, but then when I heard underwater, and maybe for a very long time, I knew you'd have some answers and some perspective on this. Fill me in.
Hey, look, if these remains are underwater, that's actually kind of a mixed blessing. And I'll tell you why. Because the remains essentially can actually be protected to a certain degree as opposed to having been on top of the ground where scavengers could have gotten to them. The fact that they're in a contained area, perhaps partially buried in mud, that's significant action.
So tell me a little bit about the notebook, because I immediately thought notebook, journal, confession, perhaps, suicide note, perhaps, all of these things, and then I remembered water.
Yeah, and that's going to be a task for the question document section at the crime lab with the FBI, and they've got a top-notch, probably the best one in the world. And if anybody can make sense out of what's in that notebook, if it's been compromised by water, they're the ones that are going to be able to fill in those pieces, actually.
So the other thing is, if these remains have been here a long time, and if they are partial and they are difficult to identify, there are those bags. The bags in their own right aren't identifiers. And to that end, they would have to open the bags and see what's inside. So, Joe, if you open up the bags, backpack, the dry bag, is it entirely possible, in the irony of all of this, that the Laundrie family may have learned that this was perhaps the remains of their son by clothing, just like Gabby Petito's family learned it.
Yeah, quite possibly. But from a scientific perspective, that's not going to be valid for us in our field. That's merely a starting point. You have to get scientific validation. Keep in mind, Ash, more than likely, these remains we're talking about are severely decomposed. So you're going to have to go with dental, DNA. The clothing, any kind of identifier is just merely the beginning.
Yeah, of course, and I think the Petitos also were getting those same scientific final results, but they knew when they knew. The next step for the forensic investigators, and I am guessing you're going to tell me some of the same things that happened with Gabby's, and that is the entomologists, the forensic anthropologists. Are these the experts who are going to have to come in and start placing the picture together?
Yeah, I think so. And also, Ash, one other thing that people aren't talking about, I want to know how long these remains that are there, how long they've been there. Is this something that took place very short period of time, or is this something a long time ago? That would marry up with the time frame that Gabby went or shortly in that period. You know what I'm saying? The last time he was seen. Sure. So that's a big question. And also, I'm interested in the water table, the hydrology behind this. I actually met a guy one time who's a forensic meteorologist. How much water has fallen? Can we judge the water table? How the depth, has it risen? Has it fallen? That sort of thing. And why did the water suddenly recede at this point in time? What's happened? Was there a dam release somewhere? To give us an idea more clear what may or may not have been there, I think that's going to be significant as well.
I think that weather over the last couple of days and weeks has allowed the water to recede. I've only got 10 seconds, but I do have this question. If the remains are in really bad shape, Joe, is it possible to determine that this could have been a suicide? If it were a suicide, would we be able to tell, or might that always be a mystery?
I think it might be a mystery unless it is a gunfire-related suicide, self-inflicted, to a solid area like the skull. Soft tissue is going to be greatly compromised in this case. Hard to rule out hanging, and certainly toxicology is going to be very good.
I booked our hotel and kayak.
Okay. That's News Nation Now. Ms. Banfield, a forensic expert, weighing in on the commentary pertaining to what is in the bags and the body and so forth and so on. Naturally, this was a day-old commentary. I'm going to bring you the next set of information. News Nation Now is the source for all this information I'm bringing you. Okay. All of this is 23 hours old. What's next for Brian Laundrie's parents? This is Banfield again. Thank you for joining me. Everyday Shenanigans.
Attorneys Mark O'Mara and Mary Fulginiti. Mark, I listed off just off the top of my head, the things that I thought the Laundrie parents might be exposed to, depending on what the investigation of their behavior unearths. And that was false statements, making false statements, potential obstruction, aiding and abetting, harboring. And then there is that notion of a potential wrongful death civil suit. Tell me where those are off base or on base.
On base for all of them. However, all of the criminal charges are going to be extraordinarily difficult to prove for the government. One, they don't have Brian's testimony if he's passed, obviously, and the Laundries themselves are not going to testify about what they knew or didn't know. So it would all have to be from outside or extraneous evidence that somehow they can prove by their actions, maybe by phone messages, maybe by some forensic evidence that there was ongoing contact, but very, very difficult. And I don't know that the FBI or even local law enforcement is going to really want to push that issue. However, if the Petito family really wanted to keep this alive, to have some semblance of what we're trying to talk about, closure or justice, a civil suit against Brian and maybe against the family for alleging that they had some input, that could really lead, because within that they get discovery. They could depose the family. They can get some of that evidence, and at some day in the near future, based upon a lower standard than beyond a reasonable doubt, that of a preponderance, they could get a judgment against the estate of Brian, maybe the family, and then at least have that judgment. And I've seen and have had cases where families do that literally just to get that judgment paper.
And some might do it just to get that discovery. I think you make such a good point, Mark. Honestly, I think the discovery at this point would be worth more than whatever blood from a stone you might, be able to get out of the Laundrie's son. He didn't seem to have much. Mary, you have mentioned that the search of the house is really of interest to you, and that also there are some rare federal laws that apply, even if the Laundrie were misleading. Walk me through that.
Yeah, first of all, with regard to the search of the house, they declared the home a crime scene, which is, not totally typical when it comes to executing a search warrant. And they removed the family, which is typical, and everyone from the home when they conducted the search. What we haven't seen is a search warrant and what they were looking for. And that could be very revealing. It could reveal, not only information with regard to Gabby and the death of Gabby, but they could also be looking for information and reveal, whether or not they thought the parents had any involvement in the concealing or the misleading or hampering it. I'm not suggesting they have. I'm just saying that given, some of the initial actions, that's not an unlikely scenario. So that's why I think the search of the house actually could be very revealing. And who they talk to. People do talk. It's very difficult to keep things in. And even though they're not talking to the police and they're not talking to investigators or other authority figures, they could be talking to other family members. And you never know what is said and who will crack.
So, Mark, here's a big question, because a lot of people have been talking about the day the warrant came down on Brian Laundrie and he became a fugitive. What if the Laundrie parents had done some things to help him disappear before that Rubicon? Would they be exposed for that action?
Probably not. An accessory after the fact would have to be something affirmative to assist in him getting away from a crime. He wasn't even charged with a crime at that point. Again, they would have to have proof that Brian told him he committed a crime, and they'll never have any of that. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult moving forward. And again, let's remember one thing about the timeline here. If, in fact, and we started this segment with the premise that those are Brian's remains, if that's true, and he was there from the very first day he went in, leaving that Mustang out there, then nothing that the family did from that point forward suggests any guilt on their behalf, does it? Because he was gone, he passed away or killed himself, whatever, and they just did what they did with no contact with him, with no assistance to him. So in effect, finding Laundrie's bones or his remains there are going to help exonerate his mom and dad from what we all presume is his ongoing assistance to him that obviously didn't exist if he passed away in that swamp.
Mark O'Mara and Mary Fulginiti, I can't thank you enough for your wisdom. I will follow this, I think, like you will, day to day until I find out what it is they have discovered in that house, in that big raid, and what they have in Wyoming as well. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, that's News Nation Now. Miss Banfield, that's my second source of information as far as audio. And I also brought you information from CNN via an article pertaining to the confirmation of dental records identifying Brian Laundrie in that reserve. I will now bring you my third audio source pertaining to this case. Could the Laundrie parents be in legal trouble? This was uploaded 23 hours ago by News Nation Now. Thanks for joining me.
We have learned led authorities to the items in the park this morning belonging to their son. Their story and timeline of events have the public and even police at times scratching their heads. This was Northport Police earlier this month when our correspondent Brian Enton asked about the Laundrie parents.
Certainly what the family has told us is that he drove out to the park and walked out into the woods.
Do you believe the family at this point? Is there reason to not believe them?
Yeah. At this point, everything that I've learned and we figured out is I don't know necessarily what to believe anymore. I think it's certainly possible that they're expressing what they know, but we'll see. I mean, this is an ongoing investigation that will continue to evolve.
That's the big question. What do they know? Could the Laundrie parents be in some legal trouble? Let's bring in Dave Ehrenberg. He is the state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, and he has been following this case closely and offering his expertise for us night after night. Dave, are they in legal trouble at this point?
Well, it depends, Marnie. It depends what they know and what they knew. It's not enough that they remained silent or lawyered up or didn't call the Petito family back. All that stuff is not a crime. But if they actively try to hide evidence, destroy evidence, sanitize the van, help Brian escape, and knowing that he had committed a crime, it's also a crime if they lied to investigators. That would be the crime of obstruction of an investigation. At the state level, it's not as serious as if they lied to the FBI. As Jennifer could tell you, you don't want to lie to the FBI. That's what Martha Stewart did, and it got her 5 months in prison, but you could get up to 5 years in prison for lying to the FBI. So at this stage, we don't know whether they have committed any crime, but I can tell you this, if the body found is indeed Brian Laundrie, it will make it harder to prosecute the parents for being accessories after the fact, because if Brian dies, some of the evidence dies with him. But they could still be charged with lying if they lied at all to investigators.
And that is if, in fact, the human remains found today are Brian's. Does their silence moving forward now help or hurt them? They've been quiet up until now.
Their silence continues to incriminate them in the court of public opinion. They're not going to win any People's Choice Awards. But as far as being prosecuted for a crime, silence cannot be used against them because they have the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. And they will not be charged for staying quiet, even though morally we all believe that they should have called Gabby's parents. For example, when Gabby went missing, Brian came home without her. They didn't tell Gabby's family or anyone that she was missing. And if they continue to remain silent and carry secrets to the grave with them, that in itself would not be a crime, as long as they didn't affirmatively lie to investigators or do something like hide evidence.
What about the attorney? What obligation does he have, if any, moving forward?
Well, the attorney has attorney-client privilege, and even if his client dies, that privilege continues even after the person dies. And so the attorney doesn't have to say anything. The attorney apparently represented not just the parents, but also Brian. I think the more interesting thing is what's going to happen with Cassie. It seems like she knows maybe perhaps more than she let on. And if that's the case, maybe there could be, if this investigation continues, an immunity deal for her. But as far as the attorney himself, there's no obligation for him to say anything. He has the same Fifth Amendment right as everyone else, plus he has attorney-client confidentiality. There's an exception to that called the crime fraud exception, but that would be if he knew that someone was going to commit a crime into the future, something that's ongoing, and that wouldn't seem to cover this case.
So if Brian is in fact deceased, the attorney doesn't have to say anything because of attorney-client privilege, but if he did, could it incriminate him that he helped in Brian eluding authorities?
Well, if the attorney lies to investigators, he can be charged with the same crime as anyone else, the crime of 18 U.S.C. 1001 if he lied to the FBI. But I suspect the attorney who's very careful with his words probably would remain silent. But he's subject to the same laws as everyone else, although he does have attorney-client privilege, which does carry on beyond the grave if Brian's body was indeed found. But I don't envision the attorney doing much at all. I think if this investigation continues, and that would be a Jennifer question, but if it continues, I think the key witness would probably be Cassie, because she's already proven that she wants to talk. None of the others involved in this case have come forward with anything that the public needs to hear.
Yeah, there was a familial divide a couple of weeks ago with Cassie and her parents and the attorney, so we shall see. Dave, stick around. He's going to be joining us later on in the show to answer your questions, your legal questions about this ongoing case. Tweet them using the hashtag NewsNationPride. Dave, as always, thank you for your time.
All right, everybody, that's Miss Banfield. News Nation Now is the source for all three video clips I just played are by News Nation Now. Miss Banfield, if you need verification, please go in the YouTube queue to pull up the set information. I have all these videos posted to my community board. Thank you for joining me. My other source is CNN. Thank you so very much. I've got two people waiting backstage to bring their commentary. Before I bring them on, I'm going to give you my synopsis of what you just heard, and it's going to go kind of like this. Is this a setup of a willful suicide orchestrated by Brian Laundrie, and his parents knew that he was going out there to kill himself, and they waited until a certain amount of time to act concerned about their son? Because it's still an odd story because of their behavior before we ever knew what happened to Gabby Petito, before we ever knew what was going to happen today as far as the remains being those of Mr. Laundrie. The parents acted on their own suspiciously before we, the public, knew anything. So why is that? Why were you all so secretive pertaining to your son who is now dead? The search of the home. What were you looking for? What did you find in the home? What did you take out of the home? How many times did law officials go to the home? FBI, how many times did they go to the Laundrie home? What was taken out of the home? Did you go to Cassie's home and search her house? Will there be a civil suit by the Schmitz and the Petitos? Will there be charges coming out of Wyoming for the parents aiding and abetting their son who is now dead? Will Wyoming file charges? Will they find anything on the Laundries to file charges? Let's start there. How do the Laundries feel now, knowing that their son is dead? Or did they already know? Stay woke. Did they already know he was dead? And if they didn't, how do they feel now? Because now we're talking about two dead people who were dating each other and went on a cross-country trip. Something jumped off out there in that wilderness. One stayed, one came back. But then one went out to the wilderness as well. And 9 times out of 10 killed himself. Did he have remorse? Some of you are saying you think he did. Some of you think he didn't. Did Brian Laundrie have remorse in the end for killing Gabby Petito? What really happened out there in that wilderness? The protesters, will they be more hyped now? The Laundries are not speaking. Their attorney says they need privacy. Well, I'm sure they wanted privacy from the beginning. But you see, because you wouldn't talk, people decided to take vengeance to a different type of level of protesting and hollering and screaming and putting laundry baskets on one's lawn and mementos pertaining to Gabby Petito. But now you say you want them to have privacy. Well, you know, that's neither here nor there with this group. And who's going to listen to that? Probably nobody. Probably nobody. Somebody in the chat said they cut a deal. You can't cut a deal when you haven't been charged with anything. So I don't believe that. Will they be charged with lying? They say it's a federal offense to lie to the FBI. And let's say they do charge them for lying. They have proof of them lying. They find some type of evidence inside of their house, homes, devices. How long will they get in jail? Imagine that, 2 older people going to jail for lying about their son, what he did to Gabby Petito. That would be a shame now, wouldn't it? No more of a shame than what happened to Gabby Petito. Cassie Laundrie, how do you feel now knowing your brother is dead? How does your husband feel? Because he has to feel some type of way being married to you, knowing your parents are good liars. And he's married to a woman whose parents are liars. So I wonder, how does that husband feel? Sometimes you all have to think about the other people involved in the story. Maybe not directly involved, but he's an extension of the family. The husband, Miss Cassie's husband, have to be a terrible place to be in right about now. Unless he's empty as well. What does the lawyer know, Mr. Bertolino? Did Brian ever tell him anything, or did Brian tell his parents something and they told Mr. Bertolino something times 20? What does he know? And as this commentary just told you, he can't talk either because it's client's attorney privilege, even in death. He can't say anything unless Mr. Laundrie told of a crime that he was going to commit in the near future. And once again, was this a grand setup to kill himself, Mr. Laundrie, tell his parents of his plans, walk off into the forest, knock himself off. They wait a while, and voila, here's a bag. Or is it happenstance? Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. All super chats are welcome during the live. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. We have two guests. We have Miss Bambi and we have Miss Yaha 101. Thank you for joining me.
Hello.
What do you have to say, Bambi? Where are you calling from, first of all?
Well, first off, I'm calling from Wyoming. I've talked to you before.
You calling from where?
Wyoming.
Okay. Well, okay.
I'm sure you get lots of people that call in. I was going to ask all the questions that you were asking, so I'm not really sure where we're going to go with this. I feel for the Petito family. I do not feel for the Laundries.
Okay.
My only reason is I have a child. Yeah, she said my daughter. I don't have a boy, but it doesn't matter if I had a boy or a girl. If they killed someone, or if they come back from a cross-country trip without that other person, and the cops show up to take the vehicle that they were in, I would tell them, I will stand behind you 100%, no matter what comes out of this. Let's go talk to the police.
So you would stand behind your child if they murdered another child?
As long as they went and told the truth.
But what is the truth if you don't know the truth?
Well, that's true. But I would still want them to do what's right and turn themselves in and talk to them.
And if they didn't, then what?
I would call the cops. I would have to. You can't take someone else's life.
Okay.
And I sure in the heck wouldn't let them just go up and disappear and not call anybody within a couple of hours. You know if your kids are coming back or not.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe he told his parents what happened out there in Wyoming?
Yes.
Because
they never acted worried about their son being gone. They never went out to the press and said, hey, can you guys help us? They didn't ask for help for anything.
I know,
and
but
all of a sudden they go.
Listen, that's two separate things, though. What he told them out there and what he decided to do in the forest is two different things. You see where I'm going?
Yeah, I do. So I still think he told them. Okay, maybe he didn't tell them the whole truth, but he told them something bad happened out there and he left her.
Okay, now, do you think he told them he's going to kill himself?
No.
Okay.
I think that the mom was 100% on hiding him until this all blew over. So she would think it blew over.
Wait, say that again now?
I think that the mother was 100% on hiding her child until if this could blow over. And then he could come home and everything would be fine.
Not too many murders blow over. So I don't know what hell planet she was from.
I don't know. I just think that that's kind of the thought that she had, is that this would just go dry and they would leave him alone.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work like that.
And I'm not sure. Right. And I'm not sure how she thought, even thinking of hiding him or helping him. She used to work for the DA.
So that's what I'm saying. See, I never got confirmation about this DA stuff y'all keep talking about. But nonetheless, in the real world, murder never goes away. You were last with the person. You didn't just meet them at the truck stop and then said, oh, I went this way, they went that way.
Correct.
You went with them. People know you went with them. You took pictures. You're on video. You're on YouTube. So there's verification. So how the hell do you think it was just going to blow over? There's no such thing as blowing over. This is not. You knocked over the candlestick.
Well, and I applaud Wyoming. I applaud Wyoming for what they did. I watched a lot of different channels on YouTube. And before they found Gabby, they were looking for Brian. And I heard a lot of different people say, why doesn't Wyoming have pictures of everybody going out there and looking? I don't know why they didn't have pictures, but there were people out there looking for her.
Messed up. It's a messed up situation. Well, I'm going to ask you this. If they find proof that they aided their child in some form or fashion, do you think they should go to jail, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. 101, weigh in. What do you think about him being found out there and the parents, their involvement? Did he tell them he was killing himself? You think he told them that he's going to kill himself?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting to find out the manner of death.
Okay. Do you think he told them the truth about what happened in Wyoming?
Yes, I think he told them what he did to Gabby. Yes.
Okay. And you see that they've held out to the very end.
Yes. And what's going to be interesting, like I said, the manner of death, who knows? Maybe that Ethan guy they found out there a month ago.
I wanted to say something about somebody else. Could it be that Brian got what he gave Gabby? Shut your mouth.
Right. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Did the Lone Ranger come up on his horse and see you sitting out there twiddling your thumbs in the swamp and said, "Hey boy, what you doing out here?"
Yeah.
And gave him a whack up the skull.
Yep. That's what's going to be interesting.
Now, wouldn't that be interesting to find out that Brian Laundrie was murdered? Come on, Queen.
Now that, yeah.
What about that, Bambi?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I would actually, yeah, I agree.
DJ says she did not work for the DA. She worked for the Water Commission. Good God Almighty, I can't. Y'all are killing me.
To me, it doesn't matter whether she worked for the Water Commission. She worked for the state. If that's what she did, she knows the ins and outs of things.
Well, anything else you'd like to say, Bambi?
No, I need to really go because I have dogs to take care of.
Thank you
Y'all
so much.
have a nice night.
You too, honey. Be
Thank
careful.
you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. 101, give it to me. Don't you find it strange them going at the end, finding that whatever they found bag, and then the law enforcement found something else, and it's just really strange. Happenstance, it could be, but it's all strange to me.
I mean, I don't know what kind of shape that backpack was in. It couldn't have been in too good a shape if it's been underwater for a month. I mean,
and the paper, they say they're going to dry it out. They're going to do the best they can to try to preserve it. They're going to try to be careful. But can you imagine trying to get dry that damn papers out? We don't even know how many pieces of papers we're talking about.
I mean, I can't see him going out there writing his obituary or whatever and saying, yes, I killed Gabby and blah, 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 and I'm going to kill myself now, and him actually pulling the trigger. I can't see that, but.
You can't see what, honey?
I just can't see him killing himself, not as cocky.
Why can't you? He's a coward. He killed that girl. Why not? I tell people, narcissists kill themselves all the time.
The coward is right. I think he was too scared to kill himself. Plus,
really?
Cocky as he was.
So what you're saying is he didn't have a problem killing her, but he couldn't kill himself.
No.
Now you're saying that somebody murdered him then 101.
Well, no. I said maybe. It would be interesting if that happened.
Okay.
I didn't say that happened.
Okay.
That's a thought that crossed my mind when I heard that they found bones.
Okay. But I said to myself earlier, I said, boy, would it be a twist if we get the ruling homicide? Oh my gosh.
Then
that'd be just as sure enough. No, would it not?
I was gonna say we can't just, good Lord, how long's all this going on? And I mean, at first when I read that or saw that, I thought, oh please, no, they didn't find his bone.
All that time he was there. Folks done seen him in Saskatchewan, over here, over there. He ain't been to North Carolina, Wyoming, New York. He was in that damn forest all along.
Well, and I just can't believe if he was right there at the swamp, right near that car where the car was parked.
Well, a little ways out. Yeah, a couple miles out, 45 minutes out from it.
I mean,
by walking.
Floats. They don't go to the bottom. They float. So why didn't they find him floating?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know because you remember you couldn't get in there because it was closed. So that's what y'all got to remember. This place was closed to the public. So naturally you couldn't get in there to go find them anyway. And then it's waist
law
deep.
Enforcement couldn't get in there?
Deep. Well, listen, but it's chest deep. You're talking about 25,000 acres plus the Hatchie Park. It's two places. So you're talking about searching two places, not just one, but two.
Yeah.
See, the reserve itself, Carlton, is 25,000 acres. Then that Hatchie place, I don't know how big it is. So you're still talking about two different places to search by foot, by waist to chest deep when it was water. So that would be a problem. That would be a problem. See, it's hard to visualize something that you're not used to seeing. So I'm not used to seeing a swamp. So you're just thinking that really they're just going to be on dry land walking foot to foot. It's not like that. It's actually water.
Yeah. Well, there's something more to it. I think more is going to come out.
Okay. Such as what? Enlighten me.
I don't know, but I hope something happens to the parents. I mean, they need to own up to what they did for him, cover it up, and the Petitos need to sue him for something, unlawful death or.
Okay, so what did they cover up? What did they cover up, Miss Lady?
Well, just him being home and being here. I mean, I think they knew he killed her.
Yeah,
they knew all along he.
Well, when they got the lawyer, this is how I look at it. See, this is how I tell people. I look at what's obvious. Mm-hmm. You hired an attorney. That told me everything right there that you had knowledge he did something. Now, what he told you the something was, that's between them and him.
Right.
But you knew something because you would have never just hired an attorney for no damn reason. So Brian had to have told them something, and that's going to be the clincher. What exactly did he tell them? So this is why you do know he did something, because you had no reason to hire a damn lawyer. That's why I was telling everybody, everything you need to know is right there in front of you. When they hired the lawyer, they told you that they knew something.
Right. And
you had no reason to hire a lawyer. You haven't been charged with anything. He hadn't been charged with anything. So why would you hire an attorney? So there's your proof right there. You don't need anything else. You don't need anything else.
It's a mess.
You told on yourself when you hired the lawyer.
Yep.
You just were bored one day. Instead of going by the orange tree, you hired a lawyer. You went to a lawyer tree. You got a tree. They got apples, oranges, lemons, and a lawyer tree. I think I'll take that guy right there.
I wonder why they didn't go to a criminal lawyer in Florida instead.
Okay, because 9 times out of 10, that guy knows them. Isn't he out of New York, Bertolino?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's somebody you all probably already know, or somebody recommended. That tells you something right there.
His family lawyer for 20
years. Okay, well, he's
known Brian since
his expertise is real estate. So you didn't have no business getting involved any damn way.
No, you're exactly right. Gosh.
Well, if the cause of death is strangulation, my, what big hands you have. Shut up, Queen.
No, you can't strangle yourself, not unless you hang yourself.
Well, he could have hung himself. Maybe found something to tie some strings around. I don't know. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the remains in the Carlton Reserve being those of Brian Laundrie. What will be the repercussions for the Laundries? Will they be able to stand account of what they knew about Mr. Laundrie and the death of Gabby Petito and the credit card fraud? What do they know? What did he tell them? What does the lawyer know? Hit the link. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen, for talking to me.
Anytime, baby. Anytime.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, have a good night, baby. All right, that's V101. Yes, we know they took the fifth. That's obvious. Well, Teresa, once again, you don't need a lawyer for stealing somebody's money off the credit card. Take a plea it out. Pay the money, restitution, court costs. People do it every day. They steal. People steal every day. They don't hire a lawyer. He knew he killed that girl. See, come on now, stay woke. So he had to tell them something more than just, I stole her card. Because let's think about what you're saying. If you say, well, he told them he stole her money, you're still not going to ask the ultimate question. Well, where is the victim of the credit card? Where is she for you to steal her money? Stay woke. Here's Tang.
Hello. Well, Queen.
Yes.
I'm just going to tell you my thoughts.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you my thoughts. Not what I heard anything.
Well, let me ask you. Well, listen. Let me ask you the ultimate questions, like I ask everybody else.
Okay.
Did he tell his parents that he killed the girl?
I think he did.
Okay. Did he tell his parents he was going out to the reserve to kill himself?
Either that or they killed him. I feel that trip that they took out there for the camping, and he spent that little time with his nieces and nephews or whatever, and sister and mom. I think that was the goodbye. I think that's why they didn't talk. I think that is why the lawyer told them to not say nothing. And sometimes,
Wait. Slow down. What did they tell the lawyer that they need him for? You don't hire a lawyer for nothing. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't really be listening. The information is right in front of you. You go to the lawyer. Now think about what you're saying. He comes home without her, and he tells them something. Then that something leads them to go to the lawyer. Don't you think the lawyer need to know what the something is in order to represent you? Stay woke.
Well, I believe he did tell them what he did. And I
Because
think
you have to tell the lawyer. Then you can't just walk into a lawyer's office and say, I need you. And then he's going to say, well, what can I help you with? Well, it's kind of a secret. I just need you. So that's why I kept telling you. It's been there all week.
No, they told him what he did. I know they told him what he did. And then I think that little camping get together, I think that was their goodbye, they farewell, everything, they needed to say, because they knew this was going to be it. They was not going to ever see him again. And I feel that the mom and dad are some wholehearted people.
Well, they are.
They show no feelings. But I cried for Gabby. I didn't even know her.
Yeah.
But I cried. I don't believe those people shared one tear for that girl.
Yeah. Well, this just goes to show you that you don't know people. I tell people that all the time on this channel, is that you don't know people. You can talk and laugh with people all day, associates, people at your job, family, friends, but you're not going to know really what people are about until there's a jump off. And this right here is a jump off. You see how people are reacting as if he just hit some girl with his bicycle and she broke her ankle.
You're right. And I think that whole thing was staged, I believe. I don't think the bag of bones is Brian. I really don't think so.
Well, they got, listen, Tank. They got the dental records. Come on now.
Okay. But nobody came out and said, yes, it is him.
They just did, baby. Have you not listened to this audio I done played you? Where you been?
Let me tell you, it's something fishy.
Well,
I don't care.
Hey, I told y'all, I don't argue with y'all about the information now. I told you the FBI confirmed it is Brian Laundrie by Dental Records. I brought you a source.
But guess what, Queen? I could take a couple of my teeth out, in the back and leave it somewhere. And y'all can compare it and see.
Okay, teeth. Okay, but you should know it's more than his teeth were out there, right?
Well, yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I don't know.
You know what you're doing right now? You're doing Lifetime in fiction. Somebody planted something in the clothes, a couple of teeth I pulled out my mouth, and then I walked off in the sunset with my backpack, my second backpack. I hear you.
I don't know. I just think something's going on.
We'll see. How about that? We'll see.
Oh yeah, something's going on, and the mom and dad. I'm like, when they were showing them the stuff in the bag and all that, mom wipe a little tear off dad's face. Heck, let something happen to my son. Y'all, I'm probably be them passed out.
So let's just go here then if you want to go there, because then you always got to remember you have to go even more deep into the mind if you're going to now say that this is staged and that's another dead person out there. If indeed there are actually bones out there, okay, then who's that dead person?
Well, hell, I don't know.
Just asking.
Well, heck, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I just don't. And let me tell you, if I really felt that was Brian, I would share some tears. Because I don't want nobody to die. You
Mm.
know, and you know, I, I look at movies and when somebody died in the movie, I start crying. My nephew go, "Oh boy," and
Right.
he go off the room. I mean, I cry if I look at the news. If I'm on
Okay.
YouTube, a child and died, I cry.
Okay.
I feel nothing.
So
Nothing.
so so you think what he pulled his own teeth out? Be
I
kind
think so.
of painful.
Well, yeah, but let me tell you, he,
You're not thinking that's a whole that's partial a head out there with the teeth connected to the damn jaw, girl. Come on.
man, no. I'm just saying it, and hey, chat room, I'm sorry. Y'all probably wanted to be him, but I gotta see some more
But
stuff.
I didn't ever think he was out there anyway. Especially I didn't think
I
he was out there
didn't,
dead.
yeah, I
I
didn't
thought they
either.
were. I'll be truthful with you. I thought they were still looking for somebody alive, but maybe they weren't. I don't know.
Well,
I don't.
that's true.
I don't know.
That's
No
true.
idea.
And then I still think about the other day when someone took a picture of them going to the post office and they mailed this package off. Who did they mail a package off to? What was in that package?
None of your business. That's what was in there. That's
Well,
what was in there. They was
hey,
minding their business.
I'm gonna make it my business, queen,
Okay.
because I'm
Okay.
like,
Go on down
you
there. Look, you go down there, Sugarfoot. You go down there asking what was in the damn mail. That's what you do.
and that's what I don't understand. Nobody's talking about that, So I'm like, the the next day
Didn't I tell
they
you
go,
about following how bad this could get? Them people gonna get tired of people bothering them. Eventually, one of them is going to react. Come on now.
well, yeah, they are,
Yeah.
yeah, but trust me, Miss Tane Lex ain't going out there, so they ain't gonna react on me, So hey, I'm gonna be right here in the mountains, but different kind of mountains.
You're killing me.
I'm talking about the Stone Mountain.
I hear you. I hear everything you're saying, ma'am.
So, and I am not drinking anything today. I am drinking a mango smoothie.
Oh, non-alcoholic.
There you go.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Yeah, but I just wanted to come up and tell you, my thoughts. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to come back and tell you in the chat that, hey, Tane was wrong.
Okay, well, this is how I look at it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But like I told DJ, and we've talked about this last night, I don't do the conspiracy theories and all of those extraterrestrial stuff, Dungeons and Dragons stuff, because in the end, most people here in America and abroad are killed by everyday people. It's not some organization. It's not some, cloaks and daggers and chanting around candlestick holders and bonfires. It's just regular ass people that just don't like you and got tired of you. That's the bottom line.
Exactly. And I mean, who's to say he could have got murdered?
Well, I didn't say that. I said he could have been out there happy-go-lucky, and somebody put him down and did the same thing to him that he did to Gabby Petito. Who's to say? I don't know.
Hey,
that's why we'll wait to see what the coroner has to say.
Yep, and karma will come back at you now. Yep. You reap what you sow.
Well, you do.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Well, let me ask you this. This is another question I asked the staff, the people on the panel, rather. Do you think he had remorse for killing Gabby Petito? I
don't think so. No.
Okay.
And the sad thing is, I just feel he was. I would watch some of the videos that they would show, and while Gabby's talking, he's looking side eye at her. It was like either he was jealous something was going on in his head.
I think maybe he didn't have a lot going for himself. See, when people don't have a lot going for themselves, they can they can easily become envious of others.
Exactly. And that is what, if you look at a lot of the videos, he got that little, it's not a smile, it's like a little sideways grin. You know what I mean? And he just look at her side eye when she's talking, you know, and you know, every time she turned to want a kiss, he go on and give her the kiss, but you could tell it's like irking him to do that, you know? I was like, she was very much in love.
Yeah.
Very much. You could see it. But I didn't see it in him.
Yeah, Rags has a good point that the picture that he took with the family before he died, he was smiling, so he didn't have any remorse. Hello? I guess she got lost. Hit the link if you want to join us. Well, that's what I said bad too. It's way before he got back to Florida. The fact that he killed the girl, took her van, stole her money showed me he didn't have no remorse. See, a lot of people like to jump the story. I don't jump the story. I always stick to what's done in the very beginning. Because as I tell people, your truth is in the beginning. The truth is always at the beginning. The truth is never at the end. Because the truth is the reason for the season. Come on with it, Queen. So when you decide to kill her and had no common sense to walk away, you left her out there to be ravaged by animals, insects. You got in her van. You took that's theft. Then you stole the money from the cars, another theft. You came home and played possum and probably made up some whack-ass story about something jumping off out there. So you see, shows you there's no remorse. I can sit here today and think to myself all day, perhaps he felt bad. Perhaps he felt bad. But no, what I have to do is go back to the beginning of the story. And after weighing all of that, it shows you didn't care. There's no way I can just sit here now, just really sit here and think, when he got back, he started thinking about the girl, the good times, the this and that. He's saying to himself, oh, I really messed up. I shouldn't have done that to her. I shouldn't have did this, and this with the car and the van. And now I'm still lying to people, my mama, my daddy, Pookie, Ray, the Lord. You see where I'm going? I mean,
yeah.
And then you go out to the swamp and kill yourself. Why not kill yourself at your house? And this is what I'm trying to tell everybody. It's something strange in the story. And it could be nothing. It could be absolutely nothing. It could be just the way they did everything. But why would I do all this to come home to only kill myself in a damn swamp, chest high? I'm going to go climb out in the swamp, get ate by the alligator before I even shoot my damn self if he killed himself by a gun. That's why I tell everybody, stay woke. This story is goofy as hell.
It is.
Who died out in a swamp? There's alligators out there. I'm going to go crawl in water to die? Hell, go jump in a swimming pool. Everybody in Florida got a pool, don't they? Damn.
Oh, yeah. It's everything out there, you know? So
go jump in the deep end. Hello, no life preserver. Hey, they got a big ocean out there in Florida. What's in California? Florida is it's nothing but water.
Yeah.
Go jump in the ocean. Hell, go jump off of one of them damn buildings down there because they look like they all about to fall over down there. That damn one building fell over. Just go climb to the top of the building and jump your ass off.
Yep. I truly believe he didn't think anyone was going to ever find Gabby. And what was the odds of that family going down that road and that van was parked out there? What was the odds of that happening? And when that happened, they just lost it. The whole family did. Then it was like, okay, change your plans. When you don't talk to a family that is looking for their daughter, and you don't answer your phone or anything, you're showing your guilt. That's
my point right there. That is the beginning of the story. That is the very beginning. When you immersed yourself into the bullshit that Brian Laundrie brought along, you told on yourself.
Exactly.
You know who you are and what you're made of. There's no way I would ignore her family calling. I had that girl in my house. Come on now.
Yeah. And then you lawyer up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that doesn't sound remorseful there. on
Oh
anybody's
no,
part, and they weren't even out there.
nope, not at all.
But you willing to ride the ride with your son or whatever version he gave, and then now you're sitting where the Petitos and the Schmidts are sitting.
Yep.
They finally give your boy back to you. You're going to have him cremated, whatever they give back to you.
Oh, but worse. They got their boy back, but worse. There's nobody really going to be there to stand up and be by their side, but those ones that think the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I think they're sitting in that house doing what they were doing before they heard what happened to their son.
Okay.
I just think, because I'm a mother and I have a son.
Mm-hmm.
My son is 43 years old. And let me hear anything happening to him, I'm going to lose it. I know I am. So you have a son. You're not talking to your daughter. You choose to stand by your son. That tells right there. That's the telltale story right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on, and you know your child did something wrong to Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to stand by your son. What's that song? Stand by your man? But she's standing by her son.
Yeah.
Well, both of them are.
Well, are they standing by him now?
Well, no.
Yeah, because he did.
Well, yeah, they can be when they get the box.
See, God has a way of working things out.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And I know a lot of people
because I guess he said,
go ahead.
I can show you grief. You don't know what they got going on over there with the Petitos and the Schmidt. I can show you grief. You didn't grieve for Gabby Petito, so let me show you what grief is.
Oh yeah.
So the son stabbed his own family in the back by killing himself, if he did kill himself.
Mm-hmm. We just don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
And so we'll never know what happened with Gabby. We'll never know what happened with Brian, because that family ain't gonna say nothing. That lawyer is not gonna say a darn thing. And what he's saying now is, well, the reason why they didn't talk is because I told them not to talk. Now you're trying to make it, seem right.
Decency, that's called human decency. Human decency don't have anything to do with a lawyer. I didn't kill the girl, so why am I going to ignore her parents' calling?
Exactly. So the lawyer know what's going on. Mom and dad know what's going on. I don't think the sister really knew. I really don't.
Okay.
My gut feeling tell me.
But you have to know she knew something, though. Matane, come on, what did I just say? Start at the beginning of the story. What did he tell her where the girl was?
Yeah.
You had to tell her something. Where did you tell her where Gabby was? I didn't ask. She asked. What did you tell her? What did you tell her?
And I think he probably told that she was going to stay or go to her parents until her parents started calling.
Yeah. And then found out that he's the one who got the van. So at some point she did find out about the van.
Oh yeah.
So that means you got a chance to change your mind about whatever he told you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So then it was another story. So he has stories. He even manipulated his parents. He's just a serial liar, a serial person that just won't and don't know how to tell the truth.
OG, what are you talking about? Well, Kim, you said the lawyer said he never saw Brian. Where you hear the lawyer saying that at? Rand said she think the sister knew too. Afraid her kids in jail time.
Whoa.
DJ, you got something playing in the background? This must be muted. Parent had to know about the van from the day he got back and that he drove home. Yes, Rags. That's the whole point.
Then they keep talking about this condo, and this condo.
I don't do that.
I know, but I'm just saying. They kept saying
gossip stuff. Bring me a receipt.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay, but don't you think by now somebody would have said, don't you find it funny? All the gossip you'd heard about a storage unit, you ain't heard nobody say nothing, all the stuff I'd have played you all week.
That's true. But I'm just saying, maybe if it's true about a condo.
I ain't heard nothing in one article or news about a condo, storage unit, nothing.
No, none of that. You're right. You're right.
You would think by now, with all the talk about the storage unit, somebody that owned the damn storage unit would have came forward and said, oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, he came and cleared it out the week of such and such, such and such. Oh, yeah, by the way, they our neighbor. They just moved out. I saw him moving a couch out, a TV out. I tell y'all, damn, y'all, listen to it. Anything people tell you.
Yeah, and the one thing about a storage facility, they have cameras everywhere. That I know because I have a little storage.
Yeah.
And
well, he's everywhere. Cuba, Mexico. Brian Laundrie was in Mexico. Some of you wore that out. Oh, he in Mexico. They got money. They rich. Y'all just think people live in Florida, they rich. No, they bank gave him a damn loan for the house. Come on, Quay.
Hello.
Real estate is high in Florida.
Yes, it is.
That little TikTok ass $400,000 house is $100-something thousand in Tennessee. No more than $200,000.
Yep.
I don't think many people know what rich is.
Well,
rich is Michael Jordan. That's rich. Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z. That's rich.
Oh yeah, that's rich.
Oh, well, Reese, I don't know about that. I don't know where you heard that. He said he wish he could stop him from going to the I don't know. Well, if you knew he killed that girl, come on now. You're serious. I'm just saying. Come on.
You know, I know he did it. You know what I mean? I don't care how they say justice is blind.
Mm-hmm. But
guess what? Tang ain't blind because that boy did that to that girl and left her out there to rot.
Okay.
And didn't think anyone would find her.
Right.
For years.
Because it's hot, warm, animals can get to her, which they probably did. And can you imagine going out there, being the parent that went out there to verify her remains after the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. That had to have been painful for her stepdad.
DJ, what do you have to say, honey? You gonna say something or what? DJ, you're gonna have to say something, honey. DJ, I don't know what's going on. Yeah,
maybe
this is crazy, very crazy. Somebody said that Love says they're worth $6 million. Yeah.
Who's worth $6 million?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't know if I believe that.
$6 million?
Okay.
Where?
Mercy. I don't know.
Well, if they were worth $6 million, why, they went on this little van excursion and didn't have much money?
Well, you worth $6 million. Who? I think you're talking about the family, not the kids.
Oh, okay. Oh no! I'm talking about the family. I know if they worked that, they'd have gave them some bye-bye money to just be.
Well, they could have. They could have given us some bye-bye money. We don't know, so we don't know anything.
Yeah. Well, if he gonna argue about us,
but this is how I look at it. What was she living off of? Because eventually money's going to run out, the kind of money they're spending going from place to place. Place to place, you got to fill up the car. You got to make sure you're paying insurance. You got all that stuff you got to pay for that you were paying for before you went. Okay? What was the van paid for? Was she leasing it? Was she making down payments on the van every month? So you don't know all that stuff. And what was going to be the end result? Where were they going to be returning to from the van?
That's true.
Somebody's audio is on. I'm hearing myself.
Well, it's not me. I don't have anything on.
I can't keep hearing myself. I mean, you just got to think about all that kind of stuff.
Well,
what was the end result after the trip? Where were they going after the trip? Like I said, the trip was expensive. From New York to Wyoming to Oregon to Washington State. That's all the way across the country. That's not cheap. For those that want to talk about how much it costs to fill up a damn car. Well, hell, you still got to eat. You still got to keep maintenance on the damn van. You're sleeping in the damn thing. You got to think about a flat tire, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
If the van messes up, you blow a cracked head, anything, a hole, you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's true.
What was the end result? Hey, Crystal. See, that's what I want to know. I want to know if there's some truth to the fact, to what that boy said, that his parents were getting a divorce and wanted him out of their house.
Wow.
Some boy that worked with him at Publix said that. So I wonder if there's some truth to that.
Never know.
Tell everybody, going on and on about it's her money, it was her trip. Think realistically. You got to turn that damn van around at some point. Stay woke.
Yep. And that credit.
Well, she was alive right now. Where would they be living after the trip? That's the damn point.
Yeah. Yeah, because the trip was going to end.
Nobody had a job. So you want me to believe what? She got a lot of subscribers on YouTube. See, I've never looked to find her. So somebody put the 411 in the chat. Because Florida, it costs a lot to live in Florida, for those that don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Thank goodness I have a little timeshare. So whenever
but I'm still saying she still has to return somewhere. You're not listening.
Yep.
Don't matter that her mom and daddy gave money. She still got to come back. If she had never got murdered, where was she returning to?
Was she returning to Florida or was she returning to New York?
That's what I'm saying. If I'm the lead, that guy said that they wanted him out of their house, then where the hell were these two returning to?
And who knows? She probably was saying this was going to be the end of their relationship.
What you mean?
She probably was saying, hey, once we get back, I'm going back to New York. You stay in Florida.
I don't see her saying that.
You don't think so?
No. She was too shaky on the trip. No, she wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Because why even wait to get back? You're already fighting. You could have ended everything right there on the trip.
Maybe she just wanted to hold on just a little bit more.
Yeah, but look where they got her. That's what I'm saying. Shit was already foul with them in the first place. That's what I'm saying. This was no first time rodeo for these two. They should have never been together, but they were. And I'm telling you, at some point, when they was filming all that stuff with the police, that was her eye-opening experience. Man, run like hell. You got somebody snapping you in your face in public. So what the hell you think he was doing to her behind the damn closed door?
True.
No, she should have left. She should have left him.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get to really sit there and think about that. Somebody beating you in public. So what do you think they would be doing to you behind the door?
Yeah.
He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop behind the damn door.
And she had a lot of bruises on her.
That's why she's dead now, because he didn't stop.
Nope.
That's it.
He didn't care about that. He didn't care about the police pulling them over and stuff. It was like, hey, they looking at me as the polo guy, so I'm going to succeed in what I'm planning on doing.
Well, Crystal, we'll find out here shortly about the cause of death, honey.
Is it anything left for them to find out what the cause of death? This
they got to give a cause of death, because that's the law. You have to have a cause of death.
Yeah, well, you have to have a cause and a manner. You're right, but whew. Maybe somebody.
She should have left that boy right out there. When they separated them, that was her cue right there.
To run like hell.
Run like hell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the sick part of the story. Anybody with sense knows their shit was already raggedy before. When the police intervened from whoever made the phone call, seeing y'all fight in public, you had the opportunity to leave him. And neither one wanted to press charges against the other one.
Yep.
So they liked it. Sick as it sounds, but they liked it. Because Brian could have easily left her too. See, it's a two-way street. It was
That's true.
Street. He could have easily said, well, this is I'm not getting along with this girl. I'm going to, I'm just going to break up with her.
That was too easy.
Alicia, what is with you in the sex? Come on now. Don't do that.
Oh my goodness.
That's foul. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
I don't play them kind of games. It's nasty. Okay, bitch. Because you disrupt. I don't play them kind of games. Oh damn. Mess me up. Y'all get beside yourselves. I ain't never seen nothing like it, man. Come on. Jesus Christ.
And then I wonder where that came from about them saying she was pregnant. She wasn't even pregnant.
She was not pregnant.
No, but that was the first thing they said. And she was not pregnant. Where did that come from?
The same thing that you hear in these other shit. People gossiping and making up stuff.
Yeah.
I already told y'all that last week she wasn't pregnant. When they gave her manner of death that was mentioned in the autopsy by Dr. Brent Blue, she was not pregnant.
Is that because one of the reporters asked, was she pregnant? No, she was not pregnant. Duh.
Well,
hopefully we'll hear something by. Well, I don't know. Maybe by tomorrow. Maybe no later than Sunday, Monday.
We'll see.
So this can, because people still sitting outside them people's house.
They're not gonna leave them alone. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. All them little busybodies out there, they'll sit their ass down when somebody tap them on their shoulder in their driveway.
Oh yeah.
When somebody follow you home and tiptoe up to your window, put a gun up to the window, follow you to the McDonald's, you'll stop all that.
Oh yeah. And Florida has that stand your ground.
Julie, what are you talking about? What are y'all talking about? Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the remains found in the reserve being Brian Laundrie. What will happen next to his parents? Will the Petitos and Schmitz file a wrongful death suit against them? Will the state of Wyoming find that they have been lying to the FBI and law officials about their knowledge of Gabby Petito, the fraud, and anything else pertaining to the death of Gabby Petito? Where do the Laundries lie? Do they lie in the balance? What is going to happen to these said people? Hit the link if you want to give your opinion. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you. Oh. Thank you, so. Yes, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you know someone that's in dire need, please tell them that they can get help. But naturally, the person has to want help. They have to want out. You cannot force someone to leave their partner, significant other, spouse. You cannot. Yes, the protesters, they're sick too. Yes, they are. Like I said, anybody should be raising hell should be the family. If they want to hoop and holler out there, hey. Eventually, people will tire of them as well. The game is still the same, no matter who's out there. But you're disturbing other people who don't have a dog in the race, and they don't have anything to do with the Laundries. There are other people who are taxpayers on the street, and they're entitled to a peaceful existence because they didn't sign up for people to come out there hooping and hollering, bullhorns, blocking the streets, messing up the grass. You all forget, this is Florida. There are no damn sidewalks in the neighborhood right there. So when you park your car, you're dredging up the mud from the grass. Who's going to put all that back? Somebody going to pay for the mud you're dredging up? You know, this isn't New York City where we have sidewalks everywhere. This is Florida. Flatland. Come on now. Well, Rand, we'll see if they go, honey. Well, T, they'll see. They will see. Hello?
I'm back.
Yeah, I see you fell off.
Yeah. Well, we just gonna have to sit and wait.
Yeah.
And see what's next.
38. Yes. Chica, yes. Every story, they always put somebody pregnant. That's true. That is so true. Always somebody pregnant. Hello? Hello?
Well, I'm here.
Well, DJ, she's having a problem getting on. I don't know what's going on. Somebody says the lawyer was friends with them for 25 years. Well, he's a
he used to live next door.
DJ, turn your devices down, sweetheart. I can hear myself in the background. I don't know what's going on with her audio.
She probably wasn't able to see the bike and cam because I had to scroll down to see it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the social media with these stories. Because I know back in the days, we didn't have all this gossip and stuff with true crime. You know, people thought certain things only people that knew of the people. You know, they could say more because they knew of the people. But random people getting a hold of the story with, you know, with this Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, people just make up stuff. That's why I tell people all the time. They come in the chat, and it's stuff I know they're making up off their head. They'll lie and say, oh, I heard it. No, probably you ain't hear it. You just saying it off your own tongue. Just say that's what you think. Don't say it somebody else told you. Just tell the truth.
That's what I said.
It's outrageous. Just outrageous stuff.
That's what I said. I said, I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
I don't go by all that. He said. Then as soon as you ask, well, who told you? I don't know. They said they who? They, like a child. It's what children do. Who said it? Them? Them who? Them folks. Okay. The boogeyman told me. Okay. I don't work like that. Because that doesn't help. You know,
maybe Boo Boo Ray Ray or somebody told me.
We can chop this story up 1,000 ways, which we have done. Who did this? Who said what? Did he do this? Did he not do this? Anybody who pays attention to the story already knows he told them something from the moment the lawyer got involved. You didn't need anything else. Because they're never going to tell anyway what he told them. They're going to take that to the grave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to take that to the grave. They're never going to tell what Brian Laundrie told them in confidence. And the lawyer, he doesn't have to because he is the attorney.
Yep.
Yes, Rags, exactly. Why would he go buy a brand new phone if he's going to kill himself? That's why I said this whole story makes no sense whatsoever. No sense. Why would you go buy a phone if you plan on killing yourself? You already know what you did to the girl. So why would you even go buy a phone?
Exactly.
He may have got rid of his phone because he figured, oh, they'll go try to trace whatever we talked about, text messages. Well, see, that should tell you something that you're stupid. They're going to get that information whether you have the phone on or off or not. It doesn't matter. As long as they know the carrier, they can seize the records.
Exactly.
Whatever you talked about with her, texted her, said to her derogatory Google searches, they're going to pull all that up anyway. So it doesn't even matter. It's a very bizarre story.
Yep,
Tell her
it
that
is.
in 20 years the parents will write a book. No, it won't be 20 years. If they're in prison, once they get out, maybe they'll write one. They ain't got 20 years. They're old. So there you go. 20 years, I'll be old. And I know the Laundries are older than me. So.
Ooh, 20 years from now, I'll be old.
So they're not going to be writing no damn book in 20 years. They'll be where Brian Laundrie is. Because guess who's getting ready to take care of them in their old age? Probably not Cassie. Yes, the whole story does stink. It's a very odd story. That's why I say when you chop it up from the beginning, everything's peculiar. They all knew something pertaining to Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. That's why the lawyer was hired. Getting the new phone is odd to go kill yourself. Going in the swamp to kill yourself makes no sense. See, none of this makes no sense.
And
no sense whatsoever.
And also,
so what happened? He changed his mind after he bought the phone. Okay, I think I want to die now, so I'm gonna go out to the swamp. Leave a new phone. Leave a new phone behind. Hell, F the phone. You're gonna kill yourself. What the hell you need a phone for? Stupid.
So yeah, and Cassie, she didn't go console her mom and dad.
Turn the background down, DJ.
Hey, Queen.
Yeah, you got the background turned down, baby?
Yeah, and Cassie.
Yes,
you having the hardest time getting up here. Turn the background down, DJ.
I don't have anything else going, Queen.
It's something because I hear myself.
Yeah, Cassie.
You having the hardest time getting up here. Hold on. Turn the background down, DJ.
I don't have anything else going, Queen.
Yeah. Because I hear myself. Oh my God, it's still playing. I don't know what's going on up here. This audio stuff up here is making me sick. Hello.
And another thing that's fishy, Queen and chat. Cassie have not went over to console her mom and dad. Mom and dad haven't went over to Cassie. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, Queen, you know, if we done lost someone, especially a sister or a brother, we're going to our parents. We're not going to sit at home and go, well, I'm going to just leave mom and dad alone because we're not talking. Nah, you forget about all that. You know, you done lost your one of your siblings. You haven't even seen that yet. That is just one weird family.
No, it's favoritism. They chose the golden boy. That's all. That ain't nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
When the lawyer threw under the bus, when he got out that they all was at the park, and he knew that he was ready to come out. That's why he threw Cassie under the bus, because he knew that they found out. The reporters found out where they were. Somebody leaked the information about the reservations.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, well, I'm not going to let you just talk bad about the Laundries being at the park. You were there too.
See, and you're right. Someone leaked that out. Well, why nobody leaked out the storage place or the condo?
Well, I don't know. Well, somebody must have said something. Everybody's talking about it. Keep talking about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I didn't even believe the plane story at first. Until now I heard News Nation mention it. That he flew back, Court TV mentioned it, and I thought, where are they getting this stuff from? Where are y'all getting these storage stories and flight stories and just weird stuff that's why I said the whole story is jacked. Arguing about who saw who was on the sidewalk, the co-op, Wiggly Wiggly, whatever the hell the damn place is called. I got so sick of hearing about that damn co-op and which restaurant was this. It all pissed me off because it was like this should have never happened in the first damn place. But I'm not her. She's not me. I'm not him. They made their decision to be together.
She was in love.
They stayed together regardless of all the stuff they were going through. But it's sickening. The whole story is sickening. Then you got the other two women that are dead that some of us think that perhaps he may have hurt one of the girls, both of the girls. It's just a bunch of bullshit. You know, I'm over it. I'm over all these stories, quite frankly, because they're all the same.
Yeah. Now, the married couple, now they had a storage bin. So I think maybe all the stories got twisted up. I'm just saying.
Well, my thing is, and why would they have a storage?
So I think maybe all the stories got twisted up. That's what I'm saying.
I'm still hearing feedback when DJ gets on.
Just
What is
saying.
going on? Well, my thing is, and why would they have a storage?
So I think maybe all the stories got twisted up.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Sherry. How you doing? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, on CNN they said that the police went to their storage.
And they got a condo. They got a condo. Then what they need a storage unit for?
No, not Gabby, the married couple.
Okay.
They had on CNN. Yeah, they said they had went to the storage, and the storage was for the married couple and one of their dads. Okay. They didn't say which dad it was. Okay. Yeah, so maybe the storage got twisted.
It always gets twisted because I just sat here and gave information yesterday, and two people tried to tell me about something. It wasn't under no water. When I heard several sources say the stuff was underwater. Do you not know what the word receding means?
Exactly.
Damn.
It's going down. It's going down.
They never said the bag was underwater. Well, he was under there, so do the math. He was playing hide and go seek, and then he fell asleep. Wow. and still that makes no sense to me even going out there. None of this, that's why I say this whole story is the weirdest story I've ever heard. It's just a weird story. Nothing adds up with this story. And this is why we have to own the things we do, the dealings we have with people. We have to own this. When we see the signs are not right with these people, man, just cut them off and leave them alone. You know, there's nothing wrong with giving people chances, because sometimes you don't want to be hasty and cutting people off, or sometimes it's just best cut your losses. If you made a mistake, then you just made a mistake.
Yep.
But it's better to be alive making a mistake than dead.
It's crazy. This stuff is just this whole.
Well, he's not going to probably float if it's muddy and murky. That kind of water is not the same like ocean water, salt water. And then they said partial remains, so you don't even know what part was even discovered.
Nope.
No cause of death yet. Lord have mercy.
And boy, if they say strangulation, I'm be like, get out of here.
DJ.
Yeah, Queen, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I just keep hearing myself in the background.
Strangulation. I'll be like, get out of here.
Yeah, just repeating itself.
I don't have any other devices going. Can you hear me?
Are you watching YouTube right now? Hearing myself in the background.
My TV's not even on, Queen.
What are you watching? Because I hear myself.
I don't have any other devices going. Can you hear me?
Are you watching YouTube right now? Oh my God.
I am on. It's the screen where it says you're in the show.
Yeah, I see it just keeps playing back.
No, ma'am. The screen where it says you're in the show.
Turn your YouTube down, baby. It just keeps playing back.
Okay, hold on.
There's a lot going on back there. Wow. Turn your YouTube down, baby. I'll calm down now.
Okay.
Butterfly somebody took his teeth out. Oh Lord. I can't with y'all.
I'm tough though.
Yeah, just take your teeth out. Put your teeth on the table. Ooh.
Yeah, somebody in the chat thinking like me.
Yeah. You know how many teeth you have in your mouth if you got a full bed of teeth?
32.
Okay. Now, have you ever pulled your teeth, one of your tooths out with a ply or something, ma'am?
No.
Okay then. I don't think it's gonna be fun.
I don't either because I done had the wisdom tooth taken out all four at one time.
Those teeth can get lost. If you want to pull it out, you just throwing them in the water and they walk out. I don't know about that.
Ugh.
Nah.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
Well, from what I'm saying,
this man was on a mission.
Oh Lord. Well, 101. I guess they wanted to know what her son was. I don't know. I don't know anything about this story. This story is about it's over with, really. It's over with now.
DJ is back.
Hey, Queen.
Hey, baby. How you doing?
Hey, Tang.
Hey.
Hey, Rags. I was trying to use an older computer. I'm trying to refurbish, and I just couldn't get it to work right. So,
well, you got to join the millennium now. Don't start no foolishness now, DJ.
I know, baby, but I'm old. I'm older than electricity.
Well, that's okay, because I don't care for none of these electronics. Let me tell you something. There's lots of days. I don't want to turn none of this stuff on. Let me tell you something about me. I do not like reading all these texts and mails and this. I can't stand that. Every time somebody tell me, I sent you this, I don't care what you sent me. I don't want to read it. I'm just stubborn like that. I don't want to be bothered because if you look at a phone, pinging all damn day with notifications, emails, this and that, I don't want to be bothered with all that. That stuff takes up all my time. I actually can look at the clock and sit on the phone for 1 hour, fooling with text messages and mails and this. Man, I'm telling you, if I had a really serious job, I would be fired. I don't see how anybody conducts business calling your insurance agent. Oh, let me check your quotes. Hey, lady, the building's on fire. I got to get out. You know what I'm saying? Got to give me a quick number.
I know, right? I don't even know how to communicate on that level.
Yeah, well, it's daunting because, please press 1, press 2. You understand me? Everything's automated. You don't get to talk to nobody. If you do any business, you need a password, username. Man, when I tell you I get so sick of that, it's to the point I'm telling you, I'm almost ready to be sitting up in the damn dark up in here. I ain't lying. I'm tired of dealing with stuff. I just don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered with none of this modern stuff. I'm sick of it. It makes me sick to my stomach.
And I live way out here in the country.
I'm sick of it. Wi-Fi this, password this, username this. As soon as you buy something, do you have a username? Do you have an email? Do you have a Gmail? Do you have I just be like, damn, what planet am I on?
I know, right? And they just assume that everybody has a computer.
A computer, yes.
Is computer savvy.
Because a lot of people don't, like a lot of older people, they don't fool with all that Gmail and all that stuff. So you want to tell them, well, here, you just signed up for your AAA or insurance. Well, you need to pick a username and you got to do a password. And hell, that's why my stimulus had got messed up. Couldn't even get past the damn username a year ago. I said, man, I ain't got time for this mess. Give me my damn money.
I know, right? So I have made myself a little notebook with all these usernames and passwords and stuff that I'm supposed to have.
But that gets old. You can't even log into a stupid Roku. You got to have a damn username, password. It's like, why does everything need a username and a password? I know it's a little bit off the subject, but I'm just, man, I'm over it. I'm telling you.
You're exactly right, because I recently got a Fire Stick, and oh my Lord.
Yeah, I'm done with all this. I'm done with it.
I just thought I was done until I got this Fire Stick. But what I wanted to say is you know, you and I talked last night, and you're totally based in facts, and I believe that this is probably Brian Laundrie, and people are so taken aback by, well, how could his remains be skeletal in such a short amount of time?
Well, 3 weeks. Queen already did a research. I did that when Gabby went missing. 3 weeks, all it takes, especially in hot weather. 3 weeks.
Right.
I Googled it for Dashina because she was found discarded. 3 weeks. Hotter the weather, easy to the bone.
Exactly. And see, I'm a retired buyer for a structural steel company, so I don't profess to know anything about skeletal remains and such, but I do know this.
Only thing that holds you longer is water and cold.
Right. And see, I have had as many as 10 horses at a time. Attrition has taken them out. I'm down to 2. But I own 12 acres of land about 2.5 miles down the road here. I've sold it now. But what we tried to do is if like an older horse died in a particular spot, we tried to get the people with the bobcats to come in and pretty much bury the horse right where he or she had fallen, right? And I'm in this area, 40-acre rock, and we have lots of wetlands out here. And one particular horse, his name was Lightning, solid, totally white. But anyway, he fell dead in the lower part of the pasture, right? And there was a lot of cane down there. There's also an old well down there. And the guys came in and they buried Lightning pretty much right where he had fallen dead. Well, within 6 weeks, we had a lot of rain, and like I'm saying, an old well was there. Well, it kind of partially washed that horse up. And I'm not trying to be macabre or anything, but because of where he was, and he was in a water table, so to speak, he was a skeletal boy pretty quickly. And I don't know anything about,
decomposition
in relation to humans or anything like that. But I witnessed that because we got so much rain, and he was in a low spot.
But that's what I was going to say. That's low country anyway, South Carolina.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And like I'm saying, the 40-acre rock area, we have a lot of wetlands out here. And I never gave it a second thought. I asked the guys to put him to rest, really pretty much where he had fallen over. But because of the water and the way, and we had a lot of precipitation and everything, his partial remains came up pretty quickly because of the water, and he had turned skeletal pretty quickly. So for anybody that doesn't believe that conditions and water and whatever.
Well, the thing I think is people don't see death every day, so they're not going to be able to visualize a person deteriorating quick. If you're not around dead people, dead remains, you're not going to know that.
Yes, ma'am. And I had, I was taken aback by his demise happening so quickly. I mean, they come in and they buried him exactly where I asked them to. I never gave one thought to the fact that he was in a low line area, and he deteriorated really quickly because when he partially washed up. I mean, I have a couple 4-wheelers, and I was going around, just checking the pasture for general things, this, that, and the other, and I was just it made me cry. I couldn't believe that, number one, that part of him had washed up, and number two, that he had deteriorated so quickly.
Yeah.
But he did. So, I don't profess to know anything about humans or whatever, but I personally witnessed this.
Yeah.
And it was kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe he told his parents what happened out in Wyoming, ma'am?
No, not exactly.
Why?
I think he told them
You don't think he told them that he killed her?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, then why did they get a lawyer then?
Because I think he and I could be way wrong, but I think he just probably all parents want to believe their children, right?
Yeah. Okay, but I always remember now. Just think about this for a minute now. You got to have some reason to go tell the lawyer why you need the lawyer.
Well, he could have told his parents, it got heated, we broke up, She had somebody else. I came home. You know,
I stole her money.
I don't know where she is or what happened to
I
her.
stole her money.
No, he didn't tell that.
Okay, but now, so whatever you get ready to tell me ain't gonna make no sense, because why did you get the lawyer? You had to have been told something to get the lawyer. This is what I keep trying to make y'all understand. He had to have told them something, DJ. You don't go get the lawyer for no reason.
Yes, ma'am. I believe he told them something. But I have the most understanding parents in the world and everything. And
your parents is not gonna go get no damn lawyer for no reason. That girl, don't you?
No, but I could pull partial one over on them.
And say what exactly for a lawyer?
I could say, Mama, Daddy, you know, we had it out. You know, we had trouble for a long time. You know what a kind of creepy person she was, and what a problematic person she was.
You talking around the subject, DJ. What does that have to do with a lawyer?
Because I think he could possibly have told him, well, Mama and Daddy, now they're gonna come after me.
For what though? See, you still ain't saying it. For what?
Well, I guess it's really hard.
See, this is why I try to make y'all think. For what reason do you need a lawyer?
Well, do you really think he could have faced up to those stoic assholes?
We in school. Stop bypassing. What reason did he give? Because think about it. You've got to have that reason when you go to the attorney. Come on now. You can't go in a lawyer's office and say, I want a lawyer. And then she says, well, what may I help you with? And you say, what exactly? I don't know. I just need you. You have to have a reason for representation.
You're right. But don't you think it might be a mitigating circumstance that this particular lawyer had been on retainer with his family for years and years?
You still talking around, DJ. He's still gonna want to know, what am I representing you for, ma'am, sir?
Okay, so I'll go with your.
Because look at it. He's been talking for them. So why are you talking for people and you don't know why you're talking for them? See, that's why I told you everything you need to know is at the beginning of the story.
Right, and I look to you for guidance. And if you tell me that you believe in your heart that he straight up told them,
he had to tell them something, because you got to think of this is critical reasoning. It really is common sense. When he came home, he had to tell them something worth getting the lawyer. The lawyer's just not going to be on standby because I know you. That's not good enough. You're talking on behalf of me. You're talking on behalf of my family. Why? Why are you talking on behalf of me? Come on now.
I'm listening to you, man. I'm open.
So it's just like right now. If you go to a lawyer's office right now, what are you going to tell them why you're there? You think they're not going to ask you, hi, ma'am, may I help you? I just want to look around.
I mean, you have a salient point there. I've never had a lawyer, so
right. But you understand, we all know that they have a job to do, and in order for them to do the job, I have got to open my mouth to tell them why I need them. And see, nobody really ever addresses this question. Y'all talk around the subject, but you don't ever just say he had to have told his parents something jumped off out there, because those people had a lawyer before any of us knew Gabby Petito was even dead.
That's very true.
And before we even knew about the fraud.
I'm just not sure that he didn't set him up with a line of BS and, oh, Mama and Daddy, they're going to come looking for me because she and I broke up and she's found somebody else and I don't know where she is. Man,
okay, Reese Black says you can tell your attorney you killed someone. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, you can, but telling an attorney and telling Mama and Daddy, that's two different things.
Okay, right. So somebody in the chat said, I think he told the lawyer whatever, but not the parents.
Yeah,
But still, Brian didn't have no money. So here we go back around in the Rosies again. You still got to tell your parents some reason for why you need that damn lawyer. You just gonna walk up to your parents and say, well, something jumped off out there. I need an attorney. But I'm gonna tell the attorney what happened. I can't tell you. But yet you're gonna be the one paying for the damn lawyer. Come on with it now.
No, you're right. You're right. Like I said, I've never retained an attorney. So I don't know the dynamics exactly of how
Yes,
that
you
works.
do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. When you went in Walmart, you knew exactly what the hell you was going to buy in Walmart. Come on now.
Yeah, that's true now.
You didn't just walk around every aisle in Walmart picking up stuff, putting it back on the shelf, talking to yourself.
You're right. And I mean, that's why I like to clue in and listen to you, because you downplay the doubts that I have.
Yes. Because see, this is what I tell the fans. Everything you need to know has already been told to you. You just got to put it together because these people are not going to tell you. So you got to put it together. But they told you everything you need to know when he touched down in Florida and hired the lawyer. They'd already told you everything.
Okay, so we really just need to set our sights on and believe that the parents are just as creepy as
Yes. Amen. Because when you hired the lawyer, your son had to have told you something worth hiring the lawyer for. You then went and got the lawyer for him, or he negotiated with, talked to the lawyer, but in the end, you're paying the piper for the lawyer. So everybody is complicit on what happened in Wyoming.
All right. I'm gonna take your word for it. Like I said, that's
because the lawyer cannot tell whatever Brian told him or whatever the parents told him. But in the end, he had to talk to Brian at some point. Why am I going to hire him? And I ain't done nothing. I've been in Florida, me and my husband. See, stay woke.
Yeah, and what's really troublesome to me is that sister Cassie.
Yeah.
She's just so I hadn't had a chance to talk to him, this, that, and other.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Because he went to her house first. That was revealed in the beginning. He went straight to her house coming off the road. Stay woke. Why would I go to my sister's house if I just got off the highway and I live with my mother and father and I've been on the damn road 2 or 3 days straight? Stay woke.
All right.
Well, you don't want to sleep? You don't want to go to bed? You don't want to wash your private parts? Stay woke.
I just love hearing your side of things because, when I hear all these differing stories and mitigating circumstances.
Those are people doing shit for views. I don't work like that.
I know. That's why I come here.
That's for views and clicks and all that stuff. I make it make sense. You done went halfway across the country. Your legs are numb and tired. You gonna go now sit at somebody else's house for what reason?
You're right.
I can see my sister tomorrow when I'd have had adequate sleep.
You're right. It's just hard to believe that people can be so callous and no matter the parental love, they could be so willing.
45 minutes out, she lives from the Laundrie's house. Now, does it make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am. It's just startling.
Okay. Go ahead, Trucker. I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. I don't have much time.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go and say, because I was wondering when you was going to come up.
Yeah, I was just waiting to give me a 30-minute break in.
Okay, well, go ahead. You go ahead and talk. I'm going to get me some water. Go ahead, honey.
But anyway, I've been thinking coming out of Oklahoma and coming to Texas, something really dawned on me.
Okay.
And I've been putting the true facts together. I mean, yeah, you are right, Queen, that he did come back and he did say something, and that's the reason why that day the family lawyered up.
That's right. That's right. You had no reason. They had no reason. This is why I keep trying to make everybody understand. Brian Laundrie to this day is dead and still ain't been charged with murder. He had no reason to go get a damn lawyer for no damn reason. Stay woke.
And not only that, and that's the reason why the whole family lawyered up instead of getting a lawyer for Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And they're protecting something.
Yeah. Well,
what?
You better pray. Look, you better pray they don't find out who your phone carrier is, because that's what's going to really tell the story. Have you been talking to Mr. Laundrie, the 27th on?
Then the timeline is when Brian came back with the van without her, and that's when the lawyer spoke to Brian within those 3 days before he came up missing out underneath the law's eyes. And the law was responsible to keep track and tabs on him, but they didn't. And that's kind of a question mark right there. But not only that, there are some key facts of what did he take out of that van? What did they do and everything? I mean, the facts are laying out now, starting to open up. But did he actually take Gabby's bag and her notebook with him over there to the reserve to try to erase and do things to that notebook of Gabby's? Not sure yet, but until the FBI looks into it further. But I got a funny feeling it is Gabby's. Just that I got an 82% hunch it is Gabby's stuff. And they're blaming it Brian's, but I don't think so. I think it's Gabby's.
Well, it is a proven and known fact that Adolf Hitler, his younger life, was acquirable. So it's hard to understand how people derail and go to the dark side to the extent that it looked this whole family in.
Okay. Trucker, why do you think he took her stuff and put it in the reserve? Why? You basically saying that he didn't think he was ever going to be discovered then.
Well, you look at the facts that they got rid of the phones, and he had to go buy a burner phone, then turn around
and kill himself.
Yeah, but he had to have something. Was he trying to wipe that notebook clean, or was he trying to?
Okay, when you say a notebook, you talking about a computer, not a real binder with paper.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. It is actually a real computer.
Okay, that's why I was confused, because they didn't specify to my knowledge, so I didn't know.
Yeah, because they say it's waterlogged and they couldn't power it up. So they said it's drying out. So it is actually a handheld notebook, a little computer. That I think it was Gabby's. And they said that. I mean,
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that it was a notebook. I just heard something about something drying out. That's all I heard, dry.
But the FBI came back saying it was a notebook, electronic notebook, but where a lot of the news media saying, oh, no, it's just a regular paper notebook. No, it was actually an electronic notebook.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what it really was. We'll just wait and see what they say or what they find.
But
you think he told them the truth? What happened out there in Wyoming?
For the stuff on the information of can the parents be charged? Yes,
okay.
They can now.
Yeah, okay, but what I'm asking you is, did he tell them what happened with him and Gabby in Wyoming?
About 80%. He did say something, and yeah.
Okay. Did he tell his parents he was going to go kill himself in the reserve?
No, he probably left that one by himself.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
But that's the reason why I came up here to try to clear the facts and bring the real facts out now that it is starting to open up.
And what are the facts?
I've not seen anything that verified that it was a computer versus a regular notebook, given his propensity for drawing and writing.
But the FBI came back saying it was an electronic notebook.
Okay. I read an article and that the FBI speak, so I didn't hear anything that it was a notebook. So that's why people were asking in the chat. So I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, and they said that they was drying it out and tried to get some evidence, see what actually Brian did on it. But I got a funny feeling it's Gabby's.
Well, and what you think is on it?
What's that?
What do you think is on it then? If anything.
Yeah, he did. I mean.
No, I mean, what do you think is on the notebook? If it's hers, if it's his, what's on it? Why take it out there? Throw it in the damn dumpster. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, she had a lot of logging and a lot of information, emails, and all that from friends and all that from social
talking
media.
about, I see where you're going. Talking about him exactly.
Yeah, and he was trying to scrub the hard drive on it.
But guess
Or
what?
whatever.
But guess what? See, this is the gist of the story about trying to erase stuff. You can't erase what I sent Pookie. Come on with it, Quinn.
No, it could be recovered.
Well, but it don't matter. If I sent Pookie a letter, a text that you've been beating me, you could scrub and throw away, smash. You don't know if they kept the text message or not. You understand?
That's right.
And then they can still go in and break it down irregardless.
And they can still find it.
Well, that's my point. It's that it doesn't even matter about taking a notebook, Chromebook, whatever the hell you took out there, a cell phone, whatever you did with it. As long as they know the carrier, they can pull the records of conversations, Google searches, all of that. All of that.
They got programs out there. They can actually rebuild
it.
The
FBI has all the tools that regular law enforcement do not have when it comes to going in those devices.
That's right.
So he wasted his time if indeed that's what he was doing. And if you're killing yourself, what do you care what they're going to see any damn way? You already hit the girl in public. So, and then you killed her. So what secret would matter on a sheet of paper or in a damn Chromebook notebook? Y'all see where I'm going? Hello?
Yeah.
What difference will it make? You worried about what somebody think of you in death? You just killed somebody. So what difference do it matter if 16 people come out with text messages? She said he beats her, he does this, he does that. He murdered her. It ain't gonna matter what they show.
You would have to have absolutely no self-awareness to do something like he's done and walk away, with no feeling about it. And I just want to thank you for your time. My main contribution tonight was I just wanted to say that I know for a fact that decomposition can happen really quickly in a wetland.
That's fine, baby.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Okay, baby. Thanks for everything. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye. That's DJ.
But anyway, I just wanted to come up, and I just actually seen it and went back and looked over it. And now it's starting to come to light of the parents are now guilty of reasonable doubt of knowledge of what Brian's movement was.
Well, we will see what they knew and didn't know.
Yep, it'll all come out.
It's a jacked up situation, I must say. Very jacked up. Very, very jacked up. Lord have mercy. Well, where are you now?
I'm in Amarillo, Texas.
Oh, Texas. Well, okay. Well, is there anybody else out there would like to hit the link before I check out of here? Oh, wow. Were you stunned that he was out there dead? Or did you think he was alive somewhere else, sir? We've talked about this 1,000 times.
He was alive for a while, and
so you don't think he killed himself right away?
No.
I guess I should have asked that question too. I didn't ask anybody that. How long do you think it was before he killed himself, or he killed himself right away?
I think it was about 2 weeks before he decided to off himself.
Maybe we should have took a poll. His folks signed his death warrant when they didn't turn him in. EDT. Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know they know more because they hired a lawyer. That's all I need. I don't need nothing else. They can plead the 5th, the 8th, the 10th. That means nothing to me. When you went and got the lawyer, you let me know you knew something. Because you can't just go get a lawyer for no reason. You just don't walk into a lawyer's office and pull somebody up and say, hey, I want you. It doesn't work like that. You got to tell them. You got to tell them something worth their time.
When you go in front of a lawyer, you better have a good case to get him.
Rag said we're gonna take a poll. Poll, Rags, you take the yes. Who gonna take the no's? Rags, you take the yeses. I need a victim to take the no's. Somebody out there in the chat. You got some.
But I do.
Okay, Soul Survivor gonna take the no's. What you gonna say?
I do agree. This does start to smell.
Okay. Yes, if you think he killed himself immediately. No, if you think he waited a couple of weeks to kill himself. Yes, immediately. No, later on. Hello, Laura. All right, the no's are coming in. Y'all take a tally. I ain't looking. It's my head.
But that is a good poll, though.
That's a very good poll. I'm glad you mentioned it because that's something, I try to remember everything when I go live to mention. You're always going to leave something out. But there's those people who will ask that question like, well, when do you think he killed himself? Immediately or
was it 1 week, 2
off?
weeks,
Because I thought about that
weeks?
too. Huh?
Was it 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3
Yeah,
weeks?
I said that yesterday. What week are we on? Week 1, week 2, day 3? Okay. Yes, it's for immediately. Brian Laundrie killed himself immediately when he walked into the reserve. No is after day 1 up until when they
within
found
2
him.
weeks.
Yeah. Okay, Kim says, I think he heard them coming, the FBI. Good point. I thought about that today too, yesterday. Very good point. He started hearing dogs, this and that, woo-woo. I can't wait to hear what they found out in the... Oh, you got 2 yeses so far? Soul Survivor should have the no's. So how many no's do you have? Right. Well, if it's Skull, yes, it had to have been a while. Of course. Yeah, because he's only this week makes 6, right?
Yeah.
So it only takes up to about 3 weeks to skeletonize. So
with all the animals and the predators out there.
So that's the answer in itself. It's no. It's no. That's it. Thank you, honey. So he did if it's 6 weeks, he could have been out there for a while before killing himself. Soul's got 14 no's. Rags has 2 yeses. So we got 2 people that think he killed himself immediately walking in, and 14 of you think he did it afterwards. Very interesting. So what are you saying, Trucker?
I'm going to say no. I think he did it within the 2 weeks while he was out there.
Okay, that's fine. Wow.
Like I said, give her time about how they discovered the bones and no flesh and everything like that. Yeah. He had to do it within 2 weeks while he was out there.
Very interesting. Thanks, Kim. Thank you, honey. Okay, I got Rags up here. Hold on. Yes, yeah, very good question. Very good question. That's the same thing I've been saying from day one. Thank you, Kim. Kim, thank you. Why are you buying a phone? Why are you taking a backpack? Then somebody jumped up last night talking about some damn tent chairs. You know damn well he had no damn tent, no chairs out there. Come on, y'all.
No.
But that's right. Notebook, paper. You're killing yourself. It doesn't matter what you leave behind. It doesn't matter. You're killing yourself. F the world. You already killed the girl. What do you care about what somebody think of you? They're going to think the worst of you anyway. You killed her. So why are we backpacking? For what? A backpack
minimal
leads me to think you're going on the run. You don't need to take a backpack to kill yourself. You take your weapon of choice and you go kill yourself.
and take minimal stuff that you need to go with you.
You don't take nothing but the weapon. You're getting ready to die.
True.
So that leads me to think he changed his mind out there. He changed his mind out there. Yes, thank you, Perfect 10. Stay woke. Thank you, Kim. Lori says you don't believe the authorities. The parents found the white bag and the police found the backpack, and the remains right. They closed us at the least. Starve yourself. Perfect 10. Good point. I thought of that too yesterday. Girl, you on point tonight. I thought of that. He laid out there and suffered. I made Gabby suffer. I choked her. So I'm going to give myself the ultimate punishment. I'm going to lie out here in the sun and bake and swamp. What do you think about that?
Very well possible.
Rags?
Yeah, it's possible.
What you guys say, baby?
Oh, I have a lot to say, but I'll just stick with one thing.
Let's start with my first question. Wait. Before you give your opinion, tell me this, because I asked everybody this when they come on. Did he tell his parents what he did to Gabby Petito out there in Wyoming?
Yes.
Did he also tell his parents he's going to kill himself?
No.
Okay. Now go ahead and tell what you got to say, baby.
Okay, skull. Okay. They found a partial skull.
Yeah, I know the remains are partial. That was mentioned day one.
Right. So we're talking about how long it's been out there. If it was a partial skull, that means something got a hold of it.
Right.
And tore it up. Could it have kind of also tore the skin off? Okay, I'm going to be gross here for a minute. But tore the skin off, which made it go to the skull a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I got you say exposed to the element. Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point, because we don't know exactly what they have as far as remains. It was mentioned partial remains. So you're right. That's a very good point. Very good point. Something grabbed at him. He could have been out there just a couple of days ago. Right. And what you got left is like to the bone.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Very good point. That's a very good point, baby.
But yeah, I mean, back to the whole disappearance. No, they had to know. Like you said, that's the only logical reason.
Yeah, because you can't hire a lawyer. You cannot hire an attorney for no damn reason.
Right.
They have to know why they're representing you.
Right. I mean, he may have not said, I grabbed her and I choked her. He may have just said, some things happened. I did something. I'm going to need a lawyer. And then the parents might say, well, what you did? I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the lawyer.
Okay.
But they, but that's.
Okay, Outlaw. Okay. Who done it? Why assume he killed himself? Because that's what most people are going to assume, is that he killed himself. But it's not to say that he didn't meet his maker out there like he gave it to Gabby. I've mentioned that possibly somebody could have gave it to him. We don't know. We have to wait on the autopsy.
All right.
What do you think happened out there in the wilderness? How long do you think he was out there in the wilderness, Miss Rags?
I think he was out there.
Because, I ain't about to argue about what the hell happened to Brian Laundrie. Really, I don't give a damn.
I think he's been out there probably this whole time.
Okay.
But it's like, again, we go back to the receipts of things. Why did he just get a brand new phone with this in he had to have this in his mind. Why did he take all this stuff out there?
Mm-hmm. Like you don't need it. You don't need nothing. Let's be truthful. You don't need nothing if you know you're getting ready to expire.
Right.
You don't need a damn thing.
I've had a very wild life. As I was saying in chat earlier, my fiance, he died. He fell off the barge, got chopped up. It took him 4 months to find him. But he was in water, and it was in December. But he still had his skin on. That's how they identified him, by his tattoos. I've had a few friends that have committed suicide, and yes, you're not taking nothing with you. Mm-hmm. They took a gun. They wouldn't have wood. They shot themselves.
Yeah.
So With him, I think somebody came up on him. I mean, and that's why I was saying earlier, maybe.
So you think somebody could have possibly recognized him? Oh, that's that guy. Somebody finally got it right.
That, or this is a theory, no receipts, my opinion only. But, Gabby's dad's calling, hey, where's my daughter? Hey, where's my daughter? Finally drives down there to see where his daughter is and sees Brian driving away. Follows him into the woods. Now he's a skull.
Okay, well, they're sitting there talking about gators, cats, and coyotes. Could it be he was out there really hiding out to survive and he got ate up by something wild?
I mean, until we have the actual.
But he went in the water. That's the part that gets me. I don't understand the mindset. If we're talking about suicide, why I'm going out in the water when I could just kill myself at home? My parents can have me a funeral, open casket, closed casket, cremation. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about finding me, looking for me, wondering where I am.
I was trying to watch all of it as I could in between time. Did they find like the Chromebook and everything floating in water?
All I know is it didn't even, the information I brought doesn't call it a Chromebook or nothing like that. It just says a notebook. So in my mind, I'm thinking, hell, it's paper. I ain't thinking of no damn computer. I know they call it a computer or notebook, but I ain't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school, so I wasn't thinking like that.
We'll just say it's paper then. But did they find it in water, or did they
All I
find
know is they found it near him.
Near him.
The paper and the bag and the dry bag, book bag, dry bag, and the notebook.
And see, and what I was reading earlier today was like a lot of the search parties and some officials say it's very suspicious because why didn't the cadaver dogs find him?
When they in water. Now, I did bring content. I did watch content about that on, I believe, News Nation and maybe WFLA. They said the dog should have picked up on the scent even in water.
Right. Like one of
the and that's a very valid point. Thank you for mentioning that. So if they did search that same area before, why didn't the dog hit on him being underwater?
Right. That's
very interesting. This is getting more crazy to me. I said, this is why I don't want to go. Because I don't like doing all the conspiracy shit. I don't do that. But this is...
I even tried to just look back and act like I didn't know anything about it.
About the story, right.
Right. Like, these people were on a camping trip. A girl came up dead. The boy went home with her car. Now he's dead in the woods. Just think of it just like that. And even that way, there's like no logicals that you could put behind it.
Well,
but yeah, on that same story, there was a lady that was talking on there, and she said that they found search dogs found remains of someone that has been gone for 15 years underwater. So there's no way. Yeah, so
a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people have been found in water late in life. Yes, especially people who were put in cars on purpose.
Yeah,
well, they look like they ran off the road.
Right, and they said that the cadaver dogs found that person that had been there for 15 years.
Okay.
So if they could find
thank you.
If they could find it in 15 years, why didn't they find it in less than 3 weeks when they were out there? So something's been placed out there since, and supposedly they've been searching this area the whole time, so he couldn't have just ran out there afterwards. So that's why they say it looks suspicious.
So say again what your thoughts are, dear.
My thoughts are that he was out there the whole time.
Yes.
I think somebody hurt him. I think somebody, like we said earlier, got him because he didn't go out there just on purpose to end himself.
You think he went on the run?
Right. I don't think he went on the run. I mean, yeah, I think he went on the run. And because he took too much stuff to go out there just to end his life.
Yeah, because I'm not getting ready to go carry let's just say it is a computer, notebook, whatever. I ain't taking that with me. I ain't taking a backpack. I love nature. I want to kill myself. I'm just going to go out in nature with a gun, whatever, kill myself. Team, Hope they find me. If they don't, oh well.
All right. And if you were, and this was going on, and you've been a blogger for the past 3 months or 3 years, I know it was mostly Gabby, but he was right there with you or with her. He would have said, you know, he's a story reader. He reads all these stories. He would have made up this long thing about before he ended his life and sent it out. My opinion.
Do you think the parents are going to sue them?
Gabby's parents sue the Laundries? Yes.
Huh?
I don't know if they'll sue the Laundries, but I think that Gabby's parents, this proves that they knew, in my opinion, and they should be held to something if that withholding information. They wasted millions of dollars.
Yeah. If they knew that he was out there. That's why I asked you earlier, do you believe he told them he's going to kill himself? That's why I asked that question.
I don't think that he told him he's going to kill himself. No, but they said that they took him out there.
I just think that you found him right in the area. That bothers me because what did I say in the live last night? I said, what are the odds that a person can tell a person exactly where they camp? We're not talking about a little small place where a person can go and say, oh, my grandmama camps here, my granddaddy camps here. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
You took them to a very distinct area. And that place connects with the Carlton Reserve. It's not actually the Carlton Reserve, if I'm not mistaken.
And then, like, if he was going to kill himself,
very strange. Why won't you do it? Why didn't you do it in Wyoming? When you killed Gabby, you should have shot your damn self that fire. Hung yourself by fire.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Damn.
If you're just going to do that to yourself because of what you just did to her, you would have did it then. You wouldn't have came home, spent time with your family. I mean, yeah, it's just something's not right there. In my opinion, I'm making sure I say that because I don't have any receipts behind it.
Well, I know if I was gonna kill myself, I ain't gonna do all that extra.
Right.
I ain't going to no swamp. I ain't carrying no book bag, no book, no paper. I ain't caring about none of that. And I know I ain't trying to go out to the wilderness. I'm gonna kill myself where the hell I sleep. If I sleep at this address, then that's where the hell they're gonna find me dead. All of those extra theater, TV stuff. To me, that's TV, going out in the wilderness to kill yourself. But you got people who are dramatic. So perhaps he's a dramatic guy. I don't know. But it makes no sense to me because, you got parents. They're going to want to know where you are. They want to have a funeral or some type of, proper, you know what I'm talking about. It was closed. Everybody remember the reserve was closed to the public. There was water there once. That's why allegedly they didn't find him. Allegedly.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering about a while ago too when we were first talking. Say he did go out there and someone killed him or he killed himself when he first went out there. There was a lot of rain and it was pretty high then, right? And it's receding now, correct?
Receded, yes, it has. That's how they found everything, yes.
So that could be why he's just now, but that was still not understood.
It's just the way it looks. It's the way it looks.
Right.
It was underwater. It receded. They just happened to go out the day they opened up the park, and then boom, they find him. All that looks suspicious, of course. But the flip side is it's been closed. But then one could still argue the commentary is that a dog would still have hit on him even underwater if they've got sufficient things that belong to Brian Laundrie.
Right. And I mean, they had his whole body, not just sniffing out his notebook or backpack. He was, so the dogs definitely would have hit on him.
That's what's strange.
Yeah. And then I read somewhere also, and I don't know how true this is, and I could probably find this. I read that they just opened the park back up and the parents went out there. They started searching and they found his stuff.
Well, they did. They went up a little ways because I read the commentary. Go back in the beginning. I read it. They went up a little ways. They was on the other side, the cops, and then the father, whomever, came across something that belonged to him, and then the cops came across something else that belonged to Brian, and there you have it.
So all these people have been searching for this whole month,
Mm.
and the dad walks out there and finds something.
Yeah, but
That
that's
makes
the
no
point. It's the gist is nobody found anything because it was water at one time. You can't search waist deep, chest deep. They said the water was chest deep. So we always have to ask ourselves how tall are we saying on a chest? Because a chest on 5 foot is different on a chest on 6 foot. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand, yes, but I'm also understanding, like, even if it was full of water, we're talking about a backpack and possibly some papers and a human being. They're
Yeah.
going to float.
Yeah, but that water is not like ocean water, salt water. Remember that.
Okay.
You're talking about probably mud and all of that. That's not going to be the same. Possibly. I'm not trying to quote anything that I don't know, but possibly it won't be the same. A body floating up in the marsh, it would be maybe different than floating up in salt water. The salt water is clear. You understand what I'm saying? There's no heavy debris.
Well, what I'm picturing
It's
is
salt
like
water.
what I'm picturing whenever I think of swamps, because I've never actually been to one, is like when you watch on TV where
Yeah.
they go through the swamps and the alligators are trying to get in the boat and they're going under trees. That's what I'm kind of picturing. I could be wrong.
Heidi said, apparently there were rocks in these bags to hold them down. See, that I don't know if I believe that. Heidi, good Lord. See, look.
Now, that don't make no sense. That's just
How about,
too much.
I'm not, see, that's what I'm saying. All this espionage stuff, I don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he took nothing out there belonging to Gabby. You had days to dispose of anything pertaining to her. You just dumped that shit way out there. How many states to get to Florida? Think about what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
You could have dumped that stuff, man.
In my mind only here, it's like, understand it was underwater at that time, so on and so forth. But then all of a sudden you go out there and dad goes out there.
Now, Karen makes a good point. No chain of command for the evidence. Yes, that's true, because I just brought y'all commentary about that.
Right. It just sounds like it was all placed out there.
It could be, Rags. I don't know.
Yeah, and then dad goes out there and says, oh, here it is. And then here...
Okay. But listen, you going where Trucker was going. Okay, so think about what you're saying. They placed the bags out there. What the fuck does that have to do with his body popping up at the same place? Now, make that make sense.
I mean, all of it. Him, body, all the bags, everything.
If you placing bags somewhere, then that means you're placing it as if you know there's a body there. Are you listening?
Yeah, but what I was saying was they took the body as well.
Okay, you're not listening, baby. No, baby, listen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If I'm placing bags on purpose, then do I also know that there's a body there nearby to place the stuff? That's what I'm saying. Because see, when a person says somebody placed something somewhere, the flip of that is, well, okay, but guess what? A body was found near the stuff that you placed. So did you also know that there was a body there?
If they put it there.
What? Come again?
Well, what I was saying was they put the body there as well.
Okay, you know what? This live is over now. Okay.
That's what I mean, I'll go down.
But that's what I was trying to get somebody to say. Y'all act like y'all scared to say it. Because, see, I keep trying to tell y'all, think before you speak. When you start talking about throwing out book bags, dry bags, notebooks, paper, potato, whatever the hell you want to call it, you acting like you're trying to say also that you already knew that the body was there. Because, see, you got to take it somewhere when you throw something out there. That's why I try to make y'all understand. When you start saying that, oh, yeah, they placed something there. Oh, it's suspicious. What else are you saying about the body? Because the body was also there. So what do you want me to believe? This is happenstance or what?
Well, that was going to go with my plot twist.
Okay,
my plot twist was they already, the parents, okay, this is just a playful theory, but the parents took care of Brian, took it all out there, laid it all out there, waited a couple days, and then, oh, look, we found him. And the whole time, everybody's dogging the parents out whenever they already took care of Brian. You know what I'm saying? All these protesters were like, you don't care about Gabby, and the time they already took care of Brian because they cared about Gabby. You know what I'm saying? That's just a playful plot twist.
Say what?
Forget it. Forget it.
No. What are you trying to say, honey?
Like all these like, what if the parents did say, you killed her? Okay, we're taking care of you. And they took care of Brian. And the whole time these protesters are acting like they didn't care about Gabby. Whenever they took up for Gabby and told the son, we brought you into the world, we're taking you out.
Take you out. Well, then maybe they in pink face. He got a black mom and daddy. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but that's racist. But
it was a funny plot. But where did Brian just automatically show up at? I understand he's been underwater, but I also know they've been in boats. I mean, I've been watching them search.
The marsh, yeah, because they were going in those things. And I even said that then when I saw them do that weeks ago. First thing I said was, ain't no way you're going to survive with that big ass boat running through that marsh like that, mowing that stuff down. It'll cut your whole damn head off. Lord have mercy.
And I mean, if he's in pieces, I mean, I watched a lot of CSI, but if he's really in pieces like he is, are they really going to be able to find cause of death? Do you think?
You know what? Next story. I can't deal with this.
I know.
I can't, because it's just like, do I weigh the odds and roll the dice and say it just happened to be coincidental that the water was up? That's why they didn't find him. Maybe the dog was taking a day off when he was out there, and then they show up and voila, there's Brian Laundrie.
That's my whole point. That's why I said I had a lot to say, because I wanted to bounce it back and forth and see what you thought.
But it's normal logic to look at the parents suspicious on this day. But then we have to weigh the fact that they said the place was closed and did have water at the time when the dogs people were searching. And then you also have to count that this is a very big reserve. But then the flip side is still, you went right there as if you knew he was already there.
Right.
So he would have been there even in the water. So it wouldn't have mattered. But you can't get to him in the water. So that's the flip side of that.
And that kind of, goes back just a little bit to what we learned with Summer. Like, they kept saying the parents can't search because if the parents did have anything to do with it, and then all of a sudden, oops, look, I found the body when I searched.
Yeah.
That makes them look suspicious. Well, that's exactly what just happened to Brian.
It is. Kim makes a good point. I think the FBI and the PD thought they were looking for a person that was alive. That was their mistake. Yes, I said that. All this time, I thought we were looking for somebody alive. So that's why I kept asking, why the hell are you still out there? You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's swampy. Why the hell would he be in a swamp? Because, see, you got to think about that, too. If he didn't die right away, he was laying around in water. I told you all the other day, there's no way he would have done that. I'm not getting ready to shrink my body in water day for day for day for day. Right. Water, you shrivel up in water. Come on now.
Well,
no way you're going to stay in water. You can't even survive in just water day for day.
He did have web feet, so.
Okay, you know what? Oh my
God. You gotta laugh a little bit.
I can't. Oh my God. You're killing me. Somebody says they purposely waited until the life insurance policy premium was received via FedEx, then went out to exact location of his body saying we just got paid. Greenie, please. Jesus Christ. So when did they take the life insurance policy out on Brian Laundrie? Because guess what? Most states ain't giving you a damn dime if you just took out insurance on anybody and they died any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You went and took out insurance on somebody 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, and they show up dead. Hell no. They're not going to give you no check. They ain't give you no check now. Because they gotta wait. They gotta wait on the autopsy anyway before they cut your check.
Right, because if I ain't mistaken, insurance don't cover suicide anyways, does it? I know my work insurance don't.
So what, baby?
I know my work insurance don't. If they find it to be suicide, you don't get paid anyway.
No, you don't get paid for suicide, so it wouldn't even matter. Yeah, right. I just thought about that. You're right. They do not give insurance agencies do not pay out. Insurance policies do not pay to people who kill themselves. That's true.
That's what I thought.
So if they thought they was gonna get paid for that, ting, no, you're not. And ting, if you murder them, you still ain't about to get a damn time. So guess what? You are double losers. You ain't about to get no dollars. Okay. It's not funny, but this is crazy. Oh, I don't want to keep talking about this crazy stuff. This is insanity to me. Do you think that, as I said, the Schmitz and the Petitos will sue for civil damages against them?
I think they're going to try anything they can.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if they'll win.
Right.
But
right.
I think to try.
Do you think they have evidence that this family knew of his what he did to Gabby Petito? I think he covered it up when he got back.
I think the lawyering up proves 100% to all of it.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I told him. That's why I told the chat. The evidence is there anyway. Y'all trying to search for something, but they already told on themselves when they hired the lawyer, because you had no reason to hire the lawyer. You had no reason to hire a lawyer. You didn't hire him before, so why would you hire him as soon as your son gets back? For what reason?
I mean,
and that's what the lawyer was saying on behalf of the family. Well, sir, ma'am, you were here minding your business before your son allegedly came back. Well, it's supposed to be with our child, but she didn't come back because she was dead because he murdered her. So why did you go hire an attorney? What you gonna say? Oh, I plead the fifth.
Okay, let's say that Brian lied to his parents and said, "Well, Gabby left me and ran off with, somebody."
But you know that's a lie. But you know that's a lie.
I'm just saying. Let's just say
he can't say that. Listen, Rags, he can't say that. He comes back. Listen, he comes back in her van. If I leave you, I'm gonna leave you my fucking car. I'm not leaving my car with you to leave you.
Well, that's what I was going with. Give me just a second. Okay, say he calls his parents and says all this stuff and said, "I stole her van and I'm coming home." Could they lawyer up for that? No, they wouldn't lawyer up. Oh my God, I can't say the word now. Lawyer up for stealing a van, right? It has to be something really serious, like death. Correct?
Rags.
I'm trying to think.
Stop it.
Okay, I'll quit thinking.
Listen, when you bought the lawyer, you told you knew something about Wyoming. Think about it. It's not really much to think about.
I mean, I 100% agree. He told
the suicide clause. I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. Most insurance companies do not pay for suicide.
Yeah. I agree. He told them all, but I'm just saying on a different. Could he have lawyered up for just saying I stole her van? That's not possible. So that right there tells you.
Okay, but in the end, you have to still use logic.
Right.
Why are you stealing her van?
I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying.
The only reason that you could do that, you would hire a lawyer, is because you did something. You did something. Right, not just stealing a van.
Yeah.
Or stealing her card.
That's why I told somebody you could plea out the card. People steal every day. You don't go get a lawyer because you stole somebody's money. You know you stole the money. They got proof you stole the money, so you don't need no lawyer. That's stupid. We're just gonna get a lawyer for on something that they got cameras to show that just you using their debit card.
Right. So right there, my whole point of that was that right there proves that they knew. So yes,
they knew. That's why I told everybody. Yes.
So the Petito family should sue them because that is
sue them. Yes,
right there.
Because just like what I said, you have to tell you willingly went and got a lawyer for a reason. That's number one. Two, the lawyer had to take the case on a reason, which was what?
Which was murder. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, whatever reason he told them.
Right.
Like I said, when it comes to theft, you don't need a lawyer on something you know you willingly did.
That's why I went through that whole story.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been because of the van.
Figure it out.
It couldn't have been because of the credit card.
Yeah,
it had to have been right.
Right. And like somebody said in the chat, you can tell your lawyer anything. The only thing you can't do is tell him or her what you're getting ready to go do. He has to tell the police that.
Right.
You're getting ready to go kill somebody. You're planning to kill somebody. Jesus. Kim says the parents told him to come right home.
And he came home in the van.
Well,
because somebody was talking about that earlier, and that was at the very beginning told. He came home in the van.
Listen to Heidi. Heidi says, I want to see receipts where they're paying this lawyer for said services because I think he's just a friend who told him to shut the F up and they want to keep their baby boy out the hoosh cow. Yeah, that's it, basically. Well, I don't really care. You all can argue all you want about lawyers who do this, who do that. I don't see hiring a damn real estate lawyer for something criminal. Because in the end, I need you to know what the hell you're talking about. Excuse me. I don't think you have to be a law student to know that. I want you to know what the hell you're talking about. And you've heard lawyers say that. I don't practice this kind of law. So I wouldn't be the best person for you.
Right.
So if it's something criminal, why would a real estate lawyer even want to be talking on behalf of? Period. Hell no. Let me call somebody that knows more about your situation. Because in the end, if they do get arrested for something, as far as lying to the feds, the real estate lawyer can't represent them no damn way. He don't know nothing. He ain't going to want to get wrapped up in there. He going to tell them, I'm going to recommend such and such for you. You need a criminal attorney. That's exactly what he's going to do.
That's why I was waiting for him to change attorneys, like as it got more, especially after they found Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I've heard, they're still using the same real estate attorney guy.
Yeah, man. So that's why I said all this is just a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. Some people knew something and they went to this guy, friend, whoever he was to him. But this person should have told them, I smell something funky. You need to call a criminal attorney. That's exactly what I would have done. Because I would have said, in case something come down to where they know something and you're aiding your kid, hey, these people might want to ring you up. This girl's missing. And especially once we found out when she was missing, the lawyer should have been really talking to them saying, you all need to get your shit together. All that walkie-talkie that lawyer's been doing, he ain't helped them none, in my opinion. He has not helped this family. Because this is serious business. Because Wyoming could bring the bang on the parents for lying, this and that, because you don't know what their text messages say or anything. So this real estate lawyer is a buffoon.
Right.
Because I would have told them, if indeed he killed this girl, you all are going to need a criminal attorney if he is alive. And remember what I said in the beginning? Who hires a lawyer for a dead man?
Yep.
So I think it wasn't intentional for him to kill himself. Because too much was done in the beginning for somebody to be deceased.
Yep.
You don't go buy a new phone if you're going to kill yourself. You don't hire a lawyer for a dead man. It's BS. And why are you hiring a lawyer for yourself? You ain't done nothing. You ain't been charged. You weren't in Wyoming. So see, the intent was there from day one. I'm gonna stick with that.
I mean, this goes back to like you always say, it's right there in the beginning. The very first thing you did was hire an attorney.
Okay.
So yes.
I'm going to read you what Tia said. That lawyer was used as a blocker. They all knew Brian was never going to court or jail. Interesting. Kim says, I think he made it worse. Okay. Whodunit says, I think there was a plan in place to get him home quickly and escape, but finding Gabby's body threw a wrench in that plan, and finding out manner of death sealed the deal. Okay. Lori says, that's why I don't think there's a body. Okay. Kim says, exactly. He was on the run. Okay. Karen says he could just be doing what his mom wanted him to do. Okay. Somebody says everyone is wrong. The devil and Brian did it. Well, I didn't say nobody else did it, but they're complicit. What I think the plan was, he was getting ready to go. My thing is he was trying to run. Because you just don't buy phones and hire a lawyer to kill yourself. That makes no sense. You would have went quietly and killed yourself, and that'd been the end of the story. We wouldn't even still be talking about this 6 weeks in. Come on now.
Right.
This went on too long. He could have killed himself at home. They went in, found him dead. Hey, Brian Laundrie killed himself. That's the end of the story. This could have ended day one when he got back to Florida. Nobody goes to buy a phone if they're even contemplating killing themselves. Fuck a phone. What do I need a phone for? I'm getting ready to die. I don't need a phone. I can use my mama's phone. Use a house phone. Okay, April made a good point. He gave up on his own plan. Thank you. Well said. And I'm going to end on that note.
All right.
Thank you, Rags.
Thank you.
Thank you, April. That's the best comment in the house tonight. Brian Laundrie gave up on his own plan. That is obvious. When he came back to Florida, he had no intention of sticking around. He told his parents something about what happened out there. They went and got a lawyer, which means they're complicit. They knew that something terrible happened in the Grand Teton Park with Gabby Petito. They hired a lawyer, which shows complicity. You don't hire a lawyer for no reason. He purchased a new phone, which shows complicity to hide and aid. They all were complicit in the plan. And I do believe, yes, he gave up on his own plan. Because you don't buy a phone. You don't go backpacking. You don't need anything to kill yourself. You didn't need to go out to the park to kill yourself. You could have killed yourself out there where you killed Gabby Petito. When you could set soul on back in Florida, you could have went in your room and killed yourself. Come on, stay woke, everybody. Because as I tell you, the truth is at the beginning of the story. It's always at the beginning. You have to listen to what's been told to you. The parents showed complicity day one. And that's enough for me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. The description is in the video. Thank you for joining me. I will be back with more commentary pertaining to the manner of death on Brian Laundrie when it is revealed. Thank you for all the new subscribers, new viewers. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Have a safe weekend. I will be back with more commentary. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you, mods. You all be safe. Bye.